Live. And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Survival Minds team here. Shiffa Don and BR Reality stepping through. Yeah, we got a lot to
Done
talk
no.
about today. Got a lot to talk about today, man. How's your day been today, anyway?
It's been live, man. Live. What's your day saying, bro?
You know, it's been taking a lot. I won't lie, it's been taking a lot getting used to these new restrictions. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we'll get through it. You know, we'll get through it. You
Word.
know what I mean? So I'm just gonna, I'll start off the show and always play a video, little music video. And this is the track I want to play today.
Say nada.
Killer Priest. Big
Yeah.
track.
No, that was live still.
Yeah, it's a big track. A lot of information in that track there. A lot of information, you know. And I like to just always start off the show with some music, get everyone prepped and prepared. You know what I mean? Big up BVR Reality for coming through. Big
Don't
up
know my
Shiffa
G.
Don. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now we
yeah.
got a few things to talk about today, haven't we? We see everyone saw the Hancock video. Everyone saw the press conference about that, and also we're going to be talking about idolatry, right? So for people that don't know what idolatry is, because not everybody does, you know, idolatry is a form of worship to idols, right? Now, if we know back in the day, people used to worship false idols, as in golden calves, you know, um, crosses, statues, and things like that. Okay, but the thing is, today we have a new style of idols, right? And them idols will be pop idols, uh, you know, actors like people up in Hollywood, and also people that's on TV that people look to and want to be like them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
True.
Now, I feel that it's important that we discuss a little bit of this. We're not going to stay on this topic all night, but we're going to discuss a little bit of this because I feel it's very important, and it's very important to say we have children that are looking up to people, you know, and I feel that they're looking up to the wrong people, and they don't always know what's going on behind closed doors. What's your
Word.
thoughts on this?
Boy, I think it's a mad thing, innit? Yeah. I don't even, the wickedest thing is, no matter how far life goes, I think people, well, young youths or older people is always gonna idolize others, no matter what. Because whatever they see
Yeah,
is better than their parents or what anyone else is doing around them, they're always going to be
mm,
drawn to that. You feel me?
yeah, right. And I noticed that you did say just now that older people as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just younger people; it's older people too, man. 100%.
Yeah, fact. That's a
We was
good
young
point
once.
as well. So
Mm,
right, so we can't really expect too much then if in those groups that olders are acting like that, then
mm,
um can't really expect much from their offspring. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they're going to be walking in their footsteps. You know what I mean? But
mm.
I, for example, you got Pop Idol, right? That's a show, right? Pop Idol, and then
Okay,
also
yeah,
we
yeah,
got
yeah,
they actually put in the word idol next to it to let people know
yeah,
what
yeah,
time it is. And
yeah,
also
yeah.
they're putting the star there. You know what I'm saying? So there's also significance when it comes to the star. You understand?
Mm,
So we see like a lot of these movies out here, and also let's not forget music
yeah, hundred
because that's
percent.
that's one of the I would say that's probably one of the biggest influences when it comes to idolatry,
Yeah,
new
and
age
yeah, yeah,
idolatry,
yeah, yeah. Reality shows and all that too as well.
reality shows and all them type of things. Right. So we've
Mm,
got the hip hop Atlantas and
yeah,
um,
yeah. What's the other
Where you
one?
got the wife, you got the wife. Cause I don't really watch them. You know what I mean? I'm
Um,
kind of
Love Island and them things there as well.
Love Island, and you got
Mm.
all these type of things. Now, some people can say, "Ah," but you know, people don't want to be like these people.
Yeah, but
But
there's still a
me,
majority of people that do. Yeah, yeah. Go on.
yeah, me going through life, I've noticed. I know people that wanted to be like people on the TV, and let me give
Yeah.
you an example. So when certain people get, there was a time where anyone black on the TV changed their hairstyle, right?
Mm.
The sisters would follow.
True.
You get what I'm trying to say? There was a time where certain people in certain soaps, you know, it'd be like a big thing. Let's be like her. You get what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? Let me give you
Yeah.
another example. Do you remember when Black Panther come out? Right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I never see so much blackness in my life.
True.
There was people that were talking about their roots that never ever spoke about their roots and everything. Still,
No, that's
and
true.
they're
It's same
wearing,
like
we-
with remember Cameron Dipset.
yeah,
The
yeah,
same as when he started rocking pink. Like I was in secondary school, like early years secondary school,
mm,
and before that, I never saw a man them wearing pink. I never saw no man wearing pink, to tell the truth, unless she was into
no,
kind of yes, she was into that stuff. He made it a
yeah.
cool thing for man them to wear pink just because of his status and who he was. You feel me?
You know what's funny about that you're saying that,
Go
and
on.
you're completely right, and you're completely right. Just because who he was at that time, and he had hit
Yep.
records and
Yeah.
those
Yeah. Yeah.
type of things, people like latched on to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And wanted to dress like him. There was even a time people were wanted to be like Santana, like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
their
100%.
bandanas like
Yep.
Santana and all that. But the thing is, would you say that's like the wearing pink thing? I always wondered. I wanted to say to you, do you think that I know you know about conspiracies in the music industry and whatnot, right?
Mm-mm.
Do you think that that whole pink situation? Do you think he got paid to do that?
Most likely, because he don't be wearing pink no more. Must have got. Jay
Yeah,
Z
no,
must
he's
have
got his
broke him off with something.
no, he did make his own color pink, but
Oh yeah, yeah, he
and
did
he
actually.
yeah,
He
he
had
did.
his yeah, his copyright pink. He
But it's
actually
like
did. Yeah,
I was always wondered about that. You know, I always wondered was that in a move from the elites? You know what I mean? To make him, I don't know. I just always wondered. You know what I mean?
it could be.
But so yeah,
But it's
like
the
you got
same as
guys
with
like
the yard man them. Remember back in the days, yard man never used to wear they used to diss man for wearing certain things, but then only the yard man was wearing the skin tight jeans. Remember that they used to
yeah,
always
true.
wear baggy, but then now everyone wears tight jeans.
Yeah, like even when you look at the time when Cartel was about,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you look at like Cartel and his crew, they were all wearing tight. Well, not all of them, because Cartel did have some loose jeans still,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. Cut
they
off foot
come from
pants
that.
and
They come from
yeah, yeah,
tight
yeah, yeah.
jeans and them thing there.
But they used to
So
diss man, yeah, you're a batty man, this batty man, that. But when man I used to see yard man, I used to think, bro, them jeans are tight, bro. Jeans tight, top tight.
yeah,
They got the dumpling belly and
like
all that. Yeah, yeah,
man's
you can see
calves are
man's
too
calves and
visible.
thank you. But then now it's
Yeah,
fashion,
that
because
yeah.
we've seen what like you said, the fashion the idols are wearing.
So
Now it's
could we say it's the that sounds like following though, isn't it? Like
it
that's
is following. Yeah. If it's
yeah.
trending, people follow.
You
If it's
know it's
trending.
mad about it. It's
Mm,
like who who picks. All right, we said that the musicians they can pick what's trending. Like they've got the
yep.
power to pick what's trending. You know what I'm saying? Like people like Rihanna, people like Beyonce,
Mm-hmm.
they've got the power to be trendsetters, and that's exactly why I get annoyed and peed off when I
Yep.
notice that they don't do enough for their community because the power that they actually got, yeah, they could change a
Yeah.
lot of things in a week,
100%. 100%.
just just like their record sales. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, big up Anya, big up Anya, big up A London, most deaf guys.
Yeah.
Good to
Big
have
up
you
Ireland, yeah.
on.
Big up
Good
everyone.
to have you lot there. But today we're just talking about idolatry, the new form of idolatry, and the way people follow cultures and Hollywood movie. actors and and because of these people as well, BR, like it's like everyone wants to be famous, and this is why I'm bringing this up as well. This is another reason why I want to bring this up in it because it's like everyone wants to be famous. We live in a society where everyone wants to show what they got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a big house, whether they're going to dinner, they want to show what's on their table. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Timeline.
And it's like, and the thing is about it, the thing that's crazy to me, BR, yeah, is that these people, like me and you, we got channels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got channels. We got a purpose, like to build, innit?
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Mm-hmm.
people out there that ain't got no channel, yeah, and they're just really trying to prove to other people that they're living a certain way. Like, you understand what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say?
And they'll
And
brock themselves to do it.
this is the problem. They will block themselves to do it, you know. And I'm gonna give an example. I'm not gonna say any names. I know someone. Well, it was a while back. I know someone that used to get paid 1,500. You know what I'm saying, a month after taxes and whatnot. But
Mm.
they still wanted to buy that table. Now the table that they wanted to buy was £500 a time.
Mm.
Now this guy, I didn't used to rave with him. I just know him. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
he was into buying tables with him, and he was a bit younger than me, so he never used to
Yeah,
rave with.
yeah.
But he was into like buying tables and stuff with the homies. So I used to say to him, "How
Mm.
much you paying for these tables?" My man's telling me he's paying five. He's paying five something. You know what I'm saying? So now that's just for the table. You get drinks with it. Sometimes they
Mm.
need extra drinks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then you
yeah.
need cab fare or petrol or whatever. And then he's
Mm.
got to pay his rent. So
Yep.
literally, like this guy
Adds
used to
up.
go out every week. You know what I'm saying? And he never used to hustle, but he always wanted to live that lavish
That
bottle
life.
life, and he
He's
couldn't
wanting to be in the
afford it.
limelight.
But,
Limelight.
right. And what that made him do, BR, is have no saving.
Mm.
He couldn't save because he didn't have enough money to save because he was always wanting to go to the clubs and live that life that them
Mm.
music guys be living. You understand?
That's a key
But what
word you
some
just
people have
said
to
there
realize,
is want. Is want. There's a difference between want and need. You know what I mean? Some
right?
people want everything, and in life you don't actually want it. Is if you need it, you need it. If you want is, you want everyone wants £1 million. What do you need £1 million?
Yeah. Well, that
You
well
feel me?
that's when you come into greed now. You know what I'm trying to
Greed.
say? Or
Yeah.
is it a one in thing of they pull it up on they pull it up on the TV. People them see it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm.
That's why do you think they probably put out cribs and all them programs back in the day? That was just
Yeah.
to get people even more hungrier to want more things.
That's
Do you
right.
understand
And
what
then
I'm
I watched
saying?
a documentary about it, and half of them cribs they used to do, a lot of them was rented. Those was even actually them
Right,
celebrities' cribs as well.
right.
And then
That's why you got a
if
big
they,
up man like Redman. He kept it
yeah,
trill.
he kept it thorough. You get me? Because some of them, and come on, now look how he was living. He was just living like a standard homie, bro.
Yeah,
But
no show. Yeah,
yeah, that's it. If that's how you live, that's how you live, and there's no point in putting up painting a Picasso if you're living on a crayon picture, bro.
no. You see, this is the whole thing though. The crayon picture, like, and me and God's spoke about this in a different show. It's like, how much money does people really want? How much money are they really aiming for? Because I don't really think they know.
Yeah, they're not sure. If they've never had it, they
It's
don't
like,
know.
right, the picture that they're creating in their mind, is it really realistic that everyone can be a millionaire?
Nah, because even just being a millionaire, can you afford to be a millionaire?
Right.
It's a complicated one because becoming a millionaire, can you actually afford to maintain that millionaireness?
And with that as well,
Mm.
yeah, they better make sure they do their research on that one there, because that one's a serious thing as well.
It's
Yeah,
a
they'll come
serious
and
one,
take
bro.
that from you. And you
Yeah,
start
you're gonna get
splashing out, they
taxed.
come and take the rest off you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
just
So yeah, so
buy a
people, them, this is
Rizla,
what I'm trying to
you ain't a
say.
millionaire no
Like,
more.
what I'm trying to say, yeah, big up conscious, and big up conscious, but the people, them, this is what I'm trying to say. There's a, I'm very serious about this subject today. Yeah, I'm very serious
Mm.
about this subject. Idolatry is pagan. Yeah, you should not be worshiping anyone. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, anyone from this planet. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into the whole God thing because everyone's got different beliefs and things. Yeah, but
Mm,
you shouldn't be worshipping no one on this planet. You understand what I'm trying to say? Um, and you got to be careful who you look up to as well, because not everyone is who they say they are. You feel me? You
mm.
might see a man driving past with a Ferrari, or you might even be in Hollywood, but really you don't know what they do to get that.
True.
You get what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So the reason why I'm talking about this as well is because I want people to understand is like don't use them people as competition. You understand what I'm saying? You can't use them people. Yo, Simi RD, what's happening? Jump on if you want. You know what? I actually got to put I got to put the thing in the yeah. You got Simi RD for jumping on before. But my thing is this, yeah, BR, yeah. What I want the people
Well,
to understand is that we can't use them as our competition. You understand what I'm saying? We shouldn't be looking at them as our competition to do anything. You know what I mean?
mm,
Because we don't know how they really got it. We've all heard the stories all over YouTube and the internet about things that might go on down in Hollywood and this, that, and that. You understand what I'm saying? But end of the day, we have to know what we're doing out here. We have to know what we're doing out here, man.
no, word. Guys, it's a competitive life. It's good to be competitive, you know. Want to do better than others, but you don't want to be idolizing. You know,
Nah.
I don't think that's good to worship man like that. You know, you lose
N-
you lose sleep over that, man.
Yeah, but
You
some
lo-
people, I know someone, for example, um, I know someone basically, right, who, all right, listen, if you're listening to this, homie, yeah, I'm not going to say your name, innit, right? But I'm going to tell the story because it's real, right?
mm.
Now, out of the brethren, Shiffa, why are you coming in twice, man? So let me just tell this story. Yo, you there, Shift?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. You need to
All
put the
right, I
link
want
in
to
the
tell this
bio, though.
story. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Let me tell this story, right? Big up Shiffa, yeah?
Don't know.
So I got a brethren now, and he came from money, innit? His mum and dad, they got money. They're millionaires, innit? You get me?
All right.
Right? And they gave him like a business. They gave him like a little business to run, but he had to do it. He had to build himself. You get me? So he had to build
It's
himself, but he
only right.
always had to
Mm.
back it if to go back.
Yeah,
You get what
yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah,
say? Now his brother, on the other hand, he's doing big things as well. I'm not gonna say his name because he's big out there still. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But his brother, on the other hand, big up to him. I used to rave with him back in the day and whatnot. Yeah. He built his thing off his own back. You see it? So now one day, my man, the first brother now, he wants to go and make some extra money in it. So he come across some guy, the diamond link. You know the diamond link.
Mm.
Buy what is it? Buy one diamond, get the two
Yeah, yeah,
for a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
amount of money. At 150 grand. You get me? Yeah. So basically, now don't forget, my man's always had money in it. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a chaser of money, chasing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like money's everything to this brother. You get me? Like he done the deal in it, got bumped for the whole money in it. Yeah. The man them gave him glass, green glass. Yeah.
Listen, you spend 150
Anyone,
grand, bring a diamond
anyone
tester
out
with
there?
you.
Yeah. No,
Bring a
this is
professional with you. Bring a professional with you, man.
blood.
I'm telling you.
150 grand, but I got a
Yeah,
diamond tester in this hand, and I got the tally in this hand, fam. You talking
yeah.
about?
That's it. That's it. 100%.
You must be crazy, right?
That's risky
Yeah.
business right
So
there.
right. So basically, and that's another thing as well. He didn't tell none of the homies.
Mm.
He wanted to bust a move real quick and bust out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So what happened? He lost the money. The man them gave him green glass, and then what he done? He put himself into a hospital, wrote some notes out for his family, and he was gonna kill himself with pills
Oh, see, that's
because he
what
lost
bad
the whole
decisions lead to.
the 150 grand was what was in his account. You understand? That's what he saved up in it for all that time. He had 150
Mm,
grand in his account, and that's what he took out. He thought he was gonna quadruple it, but they took it.
mm. Nah, you see, but that's what shows you where money can lead you when you make bad
This is what
choices
I'm
with
trying
money.
to say.
You know what I mean?
This is what
And
I'm
he
trying to say.
obviously tried to choose the easier way out. You know, but when people think they're going to take their life, it's not the easier way out because they're thinking to themselves. It's
No.
kind of selfish. You know what I mean? They don't think
Yeah.
about how it's going to spiral down, about other people around them, how it's going to affect them. You feel me?
Right. So basically, all what happened, you know what I mean? He got the hotel. He took the pills. Man told me that his stomach started buzzing him. Man hit the alarm. You get me? Ended up in hospital.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, he didn't want to go really. He was just playing. But the love of money, man, this is what it can do to certain people, and it will be, if you see my man, fam, you would never think that even happened to him. You know what I'm trying to say?
As they say, money can't buy
And
you happiness, isn't it?
God bless, yeah. He moved to America. He's a millionaire now. So you know what I
That's
mean?
sick then. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone clear. Like, you know what I mean?
That's good
And
for him. Now, hopefully, don't make them
yeah,
bad choices again, man.
yeah. Forget about the homies and go and spend your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Forget about the things that we took
Invest
care.
in a diamond
Forget
tester.
about the things that we took care for you. You get me? And just go and
Yeah.
spend your money. Yeah. But that's how it goes sometimes. You see it. But yo, Shiffa, do you want to
Hopefully, he's
add to this
watching this, isn't
situation?
I'll be honest, I'm just kind of listening and I'm hearing where you're coming from with the idol stuff. I was gonna say, does that overlap into like footballers and stuff like that and sports
Yeah,
stars?
blood. All of that.
Yeah.
All of
All of
that.
it.
All of that, my brother. And you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up, mate. You're trying to get me started. See that? I don't. Do you watch football? I don't watch football. I don't watch football.
No.
I
I
don't
used to
really
love
watch
to
it like
play
that, no.
football. Yeah, I used to love to play football though, like with the homies and that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna say this. Like, I don't know if I stopped watching football because I don't like football or because the way people talk about football. Do you understand? Like,
Barbershop talk, man. The man that kill your
barbershop talk,
eardrums, man.
kill your eardrums. It's like, it just, for me, that's another form. I'm really glad you brought it up, Shift. To me, that's another form of idol worship, because to me, I feel that people are too into the individual, not the sport.
It's true. They
But
don't care about the team.
who cares if my man got sold for 10 mil? Who gives a shit? Did you spend any of that money?
I hear you.
Bro, when I watch UFC, yeah, when I watch UFC and them man fight, yeah, I'm not thinking about how much money was made. I don't know the numbers of what John Jones made. I watched
I
the
just want to
fight
see
to
someone
see
get
the
bust up.
styles. You feel me?
See someone get bust
So
up and yeah.
I'll be like, I'm about to work at Canary Wharf, right? The conversations I used to hear, you understand what I'm saying about this guy and that footballer and that. Now, I'm not saying all blessed for the money, man. Make the money for your family. You know what I mean? Make the money for your family. No one's hating over here. Ain't nothing like that. You got Western Goddess, yeah? No one ain't hating or nothing like that. But that shit is bogus, bro. That shit's bogus.
Football's overrated, man. They're way too much. They get paid way too much. You know what I
Man's
mean?
talking about, yeah, my team. I don't remember you. I don't remember seeing you on the team, bro. I don't remember that.
I think the team should give more back to the fans, you know, especially them season holders, you know, that be spending all that guap, buying all them kits and, you know, coming to every game. They should at least get a handshake or something.
Man talking about, yeah, we're gonna sell, big grown man, you know, standing there talking about, yeah, we're gonna sell rah for 10 mil. But you ain't getting a penny of that. What are you talking about?
The man don't even talk to you. They walk right past
You're
you at the
gonna
tunnel
sell
and all
what?
that.
But listen to the words that man is saying though. Man's not even in reality with this shit. Man's saying we're going to sell my man for 10. Man's on some real Grand Theft Auto thing, you know.
But do you see with this
I was meant
what you
to
call
ask you about that as well. What computer you got, BR?
P4, but I don't even play it really, you know, bro.
Oh no, I was thinking
P4.
what you went online. What you went online the other day. I was thinking, what one was that?
Oh yeah, I was just Just dusted off the P4. I was busting out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't let me join you on there. You get me, fam?
Yeah,
But Shiffa,
no, but
what are you saying though?
you're ready, man.
They are, man. They are.
How you been,
Just
Shiffa, man?
not too bad, man. Just normal, everyday stuff. Like, just trying to keep the bills paid, keep the lights on, and not get too stressed out with all this business that's going on right now that I'm not gonna go too deep into. Obviously, we all know what's going on right now, so we don't even really need to go there, like that.
But you know what I can do though, Shift? What I can do, I've actually got one of the videos that I can play this a little bit at the beginning. So I'm gonna play this a little piece of it, yeah?
Okay.
Working with local authorities, we're going door to door to test people in the local area. These cases have been identified in the following postcodes: in W7, N17, CR4, WS2, ME15, EN10, GU21, and PR9. If you live in one of these postcodes where we're sending in enhanced testing, then it is imperative that you stay at home and that you get a test even if you don't have symptoms. I'm so proud of the team who've now vaccinated 9.2 million people across the UK. That includes 931,204 vaccines.
Right. Now
Yeah,
let
I'm
me
not
ask
in any
this
of them
question.
postcodes myself, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope you lot ain't. Let me ask this. So people them, you know how much people are in UK? So I've Googled it and they're saying that there's 66 million people in UK, right?
Okay.
What's going on, son? What's going on, son? So they saying that they've already vaccinated 9 million people, right?
Yeah,
That's
9
what they're
million.
saying.
That was the rough
Yeah,
estimate.
9 million. And they if you watch the rest of the thing, they actually say that it's mostly the elder people, you know what I mean, that they've vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in what space of time would we say that was then? Does anyone remember when they brought out the vaccine?
That's like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months. I don't know, maybe 5 months. I'm not sure.
That's quick then.
Okay, so, all right then. So let's break this down, people. I'm not going to say too much on there. So you have to talk a certain way on here, people, because they're very sensitive with this information. You know what I'm saying? Anything to do with the health and rah, they're very sensitive with it. So don't expect me to go all out when I'm talking in it. So basically, they've already done 9 million people. Yeah, there's 66 million people in the UK, right? They've done 9 million. They're saying they've done 9 million in 3 months. Shift, yeah.
The
I
numbers
see
have been bumped
about
up.
between 3 and 6 months. I'm not sure how long. Well, obviously, the vaccine was only available to the public in the last, say, 3 to 4 months, I think. And obviously, before that, it was only if you was a essential worker or whatever, in it. Because there's limited vaccines, isn't there? There's limitations to how many they got at any given time.
Mm.
I believe the
Right.
numbers are bumped
So
up, man. That's not correct numbers.
well, put it like this, people. Yeah, let's just say it is. Let's not say the numbers are boot. Yeah? Let's just say it. Let's just say that's right. 9 million people have had it. Yeah, there's 66 million people in UK, right? They done that in 3 months. So if they was to try and target to give everyone the dose, then technically they could do that within a year and a half, right?
You know what though? I'd argue that that 3 months is more like a 3 to 6 month, and then a lot of those people are still going to be essential workers and whatnot, and just scared people. Some people, as soon as they heard there was a virus, they went out, they called the doctor 50 times. They just want the vaccine, innit? Like you said, the older people, they're scared, they're at home and they're on their own. I haven't had my vaccine yet. He's just ringing up 20 times. He's not going away until he's had one, innit? So, there's going to be a lot of people like that as well. So, you know, we got to give way, give some room for the what do they call them? The flipping the yes men and the yes women, yeah, that are just gonna jump on board with it. And then, you know, right now is where the real work's gonna start, because I don't think everyone's a yes man. I think that's a very small minority of the population, in the sense of 9 million in comparison to, you know, what, 40 million? How many out of 40 million?
9.
No, 66 million in UK.
66.
They're saying they've done 9 million.
Okay,
but
so
if you go back and if you guys go back and watch that video on my channel, it says that they say that they've just ordered 400 million vaccinations.
okay. Well, then, really and
what they're
truthfully,
going to do with the ones that are left over, they're going to help other countries to get vaccines.
Well, what they've done right now, they vaccinated, you know, about maybe 15 to 18% of the population, which isn't even half yet. But obviously, in the space of time that it's taken to do it, I get where you're coming from. But now we've got to see the effects of that as well. We've got to see what happens with all of these people, all of these vaccines over the next X amount of months, you know. And then you got to think how much people are still in hospitals dying, vaccinated or not, you know, like that. So to that effect, I think
Jedi. Big up Jedi in the house all day, man.
Yeah, big up family.
That's how he does his thing, my brother. That's how he does his thing, my G.
But listen, I think that what was I gonna say? I think with this whole vaccine thing, yeah, like I said before, there's gonna be some people who are gonna just be, you know, yes men, yes women. They're gonna jump straight on board with it and fly through the doors. But I think ultimately, you know, people are still going to die regardless of whether they get the vaccine or not, in my opinion. I don't think the vaccine is seen as a cure. It's not seen that way. So if it's not seen as a cure, then it's not ultimately the solution, really, to solving the problem. It's just a way of, you know, minimizing the damage, then, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, as we can't really talk too much on that subject, there's not really much we can say, people, but just go and see what they're telling you, you know. And like I said,
we can say what they've said. We can say what they've said, and the government have made it very clear that this vaccine is it's not a cure. Do you understand? It's not like you get this vaccine and then you 100%, you know, are safe from corona. There's no way it can kill you or affect you again. It doesn't work like that. You get the vaccine and your chances of survival are increased, is my understanding of it. And that's only but that's what, when I was listening to them on the news and from what I've read online, there's no part of it where it says that this vaccine is a cure. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
Hey, big up D Double TV. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But, you know, you know what it is? You see, what I've noticed there is that when these guys come up here and they give these little press conferences, I don't think people be listening to them properly, bro.
Not the whole of it.
You have to really read between the lines with these things. You know?
Depends whose ears it goes to, innit? You know, not everyone's there to listen, you know. So would you, man, get that, though, if it comes your way?
I'll be honest with you, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this vaccine is something to really be scared of, the way we're, you know, because I'm a bit paranoid about it, but more because of what I've heard from other people about it. I also know this, though. I also know, like, you know, there's been times in the past where they've been saying they're giving out vaccines to people and just injecting people with water and sugar, so a sugar on them foolishness there. And then the people were still getting better, though, even without no vaccine, even without nothing. So, you know, I know the reality of this thing is, if you're going to die, you're probably just going to die anyway, vaccine or no vaccine. See where I'm coming from? Like, it's not like, what's the one they give you in school? They give you the BCG in it to protect you from tuberculosis. Now, that one...
measles or something.
Yeah, but those ones there, they're kind of guaranteeing you, once you got them vaccines, you're cool, innit? You ain't going to catch them now, innit? Like, it's tried and tested. They know it works. With
for
this
a
one
period
here,
of time as well.
Yeah, and with this one here, we ain't really got that kind of download on the whole thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not tried and tested because it's been rushed in. So I'll be honest, like, I haven't got any kind of what's the word? I haven't got any high expectations of this vaccine. I just know it's there and it's a precaution that's being used.
Yeah, I know one brother that's had it. Yeah, me, and you know, I'll see within a couple of weeks or months how he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my nan's
When
had
I
it still.
yeah, when I saw him the last time, the day before he had it, and then the next day when I saw him, he said he was feeling rough, and the next day he was feeling fine. So when I see him next time I see him, I'll see how he's doing. Yeah, man. That's the only way you can tell is if you know someone that's had the vaccination and see how they're going. But then you have to. Apparently, he's telling me you got to get a top up as well. It's not just a one bam.
Yeah.
done.
It's more than one because remember, a vaccine is like, what is it? It's a weak. I should swear it's a weakened strain of the virus. So what it's doing is allowing your body to build up the antibodies to fight against the proper strain of the virus, but it's giving it a weaker version to start off with, so that it's got more chance
to break down to break your immune system down first, lower your immune system, and then boost it back up, sort of thing.
Well, not necessarily to lower it. It's just to put something in there to give it something to fight against, and then it can get used to fighting against that type of thing. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? So then once it's fought off the weaker version, if you ever get the stronger version, your body's going to already know what things to generate to get rid of it. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? So that's my understanding of how vaccine works. But then ultimately, all right, for instance, we all get vaccinated for, like we said, those types of things, tuberculosis, the cold, whatever, but we could still catch a cold and dead though, same way. It just depends on how severe you get it, like that. If you got pneumonia or something like that, now a cold could be detrimental the same way. Don't matter about no vaccine that, like that. So
no, it's severe stuff.
Like, this is why I think is important when a lot of people is talking about, the conditions we're living under, and then, they're putting up all of these radioactive things around us, X, Y, Z, because I think that, not to say that it's definitely going to take a toll, but, it's got to have some part to play in the atmosphere if it's part of it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Or in the environment if it's part of it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, I don't think it's completely dumbfounded that some of these towers, 5G, even the 4G, even the one before that, like that, there's no telling what these things are affecting us and doing to us, as well as having to fight off all of these viruses and, flu and...
Yeah, because there's as they're saying, it is mutating. So the mutation is coming from where? Is it coming from within us? Are we mutating it within ourselves, or is it from the spreading of it?
Well, I'd say, within ourselves, because
the research I've done, it said 11 of the cases wasn't from abroad. Out of the was it 99 cases they found of this new South African virus? That I think out of the 11, 3 the rest of them was international, or 11 was just raised up and mutated in this country.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is now, virus it's like a microorganism then, so it's finding new ways and new strategies to get around the mechanisms, the defense mechanisms that have been built within us to fight against it, if that makes sense. So, all right, let's just say
all living things multiply, innit?
Yeah, but not just multiply. Like, remember, these things, they're microorganisms, so we can't see them. They're really tiny. They seem like they just sit there and just make you sick, and they're not really, but they actually living things. They move around, they interact with each other. So what happens is the virus cells actually get smarter because, they'll get defeated. It's like going to war. So one army gets defeated X amount of times, and then they got smart to the tactics. They said, okay, they're using shields and flipping, spears, and they got longer spears than us. So they've worked it out. They said, all right.
White blood cells, isn't it? That's the defense, isn't it? Is it the white ones?
Right.
Or the red?
That's right.
And they get smarter over time how to defend your body, right?
That's right. And this is why you had things. Remember when we had like bird flu and chicken flu and whatever, what is it?
Foot and mouth
and everything. Remember, now it's going to animals and mutating again when it gets to animal, because different defense mechanisms. All right. So the different defense mechanisms of the different animals are now contributing to how this disease is trying to fight against us. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? And that's all it's doing. It's trying to find ways around the defense mechanisms. So, obviously, if we know that really and truthfully we could die from a cold anyway, we could die from most of these things anyway, then the vaccine is just a precaution, then, isn't it? It's not the be all and end all. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? But they've got to do something.
You think the world's being more too cautious then? This being too cautious is what worse or?
No. I don't think that you can be too cautious, because at the end of the day, we know there's something out there regardless. You know, like that. There are people dying. There are people coming up with this virus in their system. There have been people in hospitals suffering, loss of breath, had the symptoms, all of that. So to that effect, you have to be vigilant, because this might be the wrong time to get sick. This might be the time you get sick and don't come back. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
Word.
Especially if you're old.
Yeah, old, vulnerable, young. Because they're saying young youths is getting it even more now, isn't it? The young youths weren't really vulnerable like that. Now kids are catching that.
Is that what they're saying now? Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying this from a little piece.
I heard about one youth the other day. I did hear that they had it.
Yeah, the youths are catching it. They've been catching it. That's why they locked off the schools.
Yeah. And that's why even I was going to talk about that, because homeschooling and this lockdown thing it's becoming a hard one now. I'm telling you that, man. Having teachers in your house, it feels like teachers are in your house now doing all this homeschooling.
Yeah.
God, true, this lockdown's coming again now. I'm off work again because of this second lockdown. It's like raw. Hearing teachers on laptops, and you can't play your music and do whatever you want in the house no more. It's a mad one, bro. It's mad.
I hear you still. I hear you.
The last lockdown was easier because they sent you to work. You can knock out 2 days work in one day and have the next day to go out for the day or do whatever you need to do. Now it's every day routine. We've been doing this for like 2 months almost now. Yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot on the kids and parents. Yeah, man,
definitely.
And I'm co-parenting, so we're both doing it. So it's it's easier for us. But for single parents, it must be tough.
Yeah, I hear you.
Not co-parenting. Wait, when you're in a relationship, is that co-parenting?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
No, I hear you still. Nah, some as a still. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really liking this forever, but it is what it is, man. Like, they gotta be seen to be doing something, because if they're not seen to be doing something and the end results are even more tragic than we expected, then it's gonna look even worse for them, innit? Like, we didn't even do nothing. Do you know, like that? So
but the only thing is, you see, with the work before, it weren't too bad because you got sent the week's work and you can just bang that work out. And then we was giving them extra work on top of that. And we was getting loads of credits and bigging up. But you see, now they're sitting in front of the computer from 20 to 9, quarter to 9 in the morning, all the way up to like 3:30. They get the little breaks and that. But it's a strain on them too. In the beginning, all excited for it. Now you can see it. You can see them.
All right, think about it like this, yeah. Think about it like this. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Do you get me when I say that? That's the whole point to the life that we're living, westernized society. Like, think about it like this: when you was a youth growing up and you was going to school, if you needed to know something, you had to read a book. But where have they been leading us from then? From them, when you was a little kid, you had that little Apple computer in the class, and you had these little things that you can use, calculators and XYZ. From then, way back when. So, that's the way it's always been leading. Now, there comes a point where it's like, for instance, you look at Amazon, it's too expensive for everyone to have a shop all of the time. So just put the shop online. You can just look at a web page, browse through the pages, and order what you want. There's no need to have a physical shop anymore. All we got now is warehouses, in it. So it's the same with the school. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? We're getting to that era now, to that age now, where they don't need the physical school. They just need the physical interaction. Do you feel where I'm coming from? So, it's no wonder that, especially at a time like this where there's the perfect excuse, they're going to say, okay, everyone jump on a laptop. Everyone's doing their class on a Zoom call now. Before you know it, there's going to be schools that are permanently like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's going to be tough. I think a lot of people end up standing up and saying something after a while,
No, but what are you going to say? Like, you got to think about it like this. Don't get me wrong, Some people would argue that, they got things to do, but the government.
No, my kids' education is more important. But for them, just their mental state you're staring at a computer pretty much throughout the whole day. Before you're interacting with the teacher, now you're just staring at the face, and teacher needs to see you.
Can I be honest? I think we're heading down a road where
I hope we don't stay like this. Yeah.
If you
Go
got
on.
a child, then that's
Yeah.
going to be your job now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they're going to expect you to stay home and just make sure them kids are learning, innit? And you're now the teacher. You're sitting in front of the computer with them. You know, there's a main teacher, but you're their backup now, innit? And now they know if you're not in the house,
That's
innit?
what it
They
is
know if
now.
you're gone out. They know what you're doing. They know if you pissed
Bruv.
off or went down the road to meet your
That's
brethren.
what bothers me. That's what bothers me. Because you see, when I'm doing it with my kids and that, we take it in turns and that, I can listen in, and some kids keep, you know, unmuting, off muting, and you can hear their parents shouting. Some teacher says, "Oh, can you call your mum? There's no one here." So, and then teachers like, "Oh, so who you there with?" "Oh, just me by myself." You know, the kid will be young, but my kids are quite young, innit? And the kid will openly say they're there on their own.
Yeah.
So it is invading some people's privacy. Obviously, I would never leave my kids alone, but for some youths, boy, I feel sorry for them.
That's real, but in the same time, that's where it's always been heading to. Like
It's
everyone's
gonna
got a
be a mad
TV
thing.
in their house. Every single TV, you know, has the capabilities of being used as a camera. The same way every flipping speaker could be used as a microphone and vice versa, because it's the same piece of technology, just in reverse. Do you feel where I'm coming from? So we've had these things in our house from day. You got the Xbox or whatever, the PlayStation with a little camera, and you got the flipping
Both of
virtual
them,
headset. It's
all of
watching
them.
you, B. It's all
Switch.
watching you. But the thing is, we're allowing that one to watch us because we feel that we're in control of it. But then the way they get you to allow things that you're not in control of to be in your house watching you is like you said, because it's now compulsory. Now it's part of the syllabus. Now you have to do it because your kids have got to do it. So you ain't got a choice. Now you had to open the door, innit? You had to let the vampires
You
in.
don't, and that's where the don't like comes into. You think,
Man, let's let the vampires in.
You have to let the vampires in. Once you let the vampires in, they don't leave. If you don't open the door,
before you
don't
start
let them
speaking,
in.
you have to ask if the mic's on or off.
You know, like that. If you don't let the vampires in, they're cool. But the moment they get in that house, they are not leaving. They are there and they are going to ask questions.
I'm telling you, it's mad.
They're involved.
Even like with my niece and her exam, she could even do exams, was it, last year and things like that. That got cancelled and all sorts, bro. It's like, what's going to go on with the youths and their exams? What this year? How's that going to work? Online as well or something?
Yeah, everything's going to be online. You're going to have a little timer. You have a little questions on the computer. You fill out the question on the computer, innit? Like everything's timed. But the only problem with that is now that everyone can cheat in it and just go on Google and get the answer. But then they're gonna say,
they would have to bring him into like, you know, like the hall, the assembly hall, space him out or something.
No, do you know what I think they're gonna do? This is what
Go
I
on.
think they're gonna do. They're gonna make you have to flip in, face yourself a certain way towards the computer, and your hands and certain parts of your body have to be visible in it. And that's it.
Oh, what, like,
and you have to show that
the
the room's
prison visit,
empty,
you mean?
innit? Yeah, you have to show that the room's empty, all of that, and then you can proceed the test. Because then, if your hands can't do anything else, you can't go on Google and Google something while you're doing the test, innit? And they're watching you on the screen, innit? And then secondly, as long as no one else is in the room, no one else can't Google and just give you the answer neither, innit? So that's what that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing some proper like scrutinizing the camera business now. The camera's turned into the new person. Do you feel me?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, man. Talking to cameras all the time, man.
Bro,
you know,
I
like
can
them dudes on Instagram that just be talking to the camera all the time. They get too used to it. They're not used to talking to people. That's why they can't look in your eyes.
I see P filtering his lights, but I'm saying flipping, I can see man like raving in the future, and man are on the computer raving, you know, like that, and you can just see people on the screen, and then you can go up to your screen.
Well, hey, listen, I don't know when invite me to no Zoom party. I'm not going, man. That is something.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, they
do that on OnlyFans, isn't it? You can do raves on OnlyFans and all that stuff. And
that's
stuff
what I'm
like
saying.
That.
No, but it's gonna get more technical because remember we got the virtual reality to throw into the mix. Now, once they work that out properly, the virtual reality is gonna be the thing. I'm telling you. You get me? Man, they're gonna have their
with the glasses on. Or with the glasses on.
Man are gonna have their sex dollies out doing virtual sex and them thing there. I'm telling you, don't ever get it twisted. What do you think? Where do you think this is going? Like, you got to look at the world. You got to look at, like, for instance, look at China, look at Japan, look at America, and you got to understand that everything is made in China. Everything's made in China, but it's a very Japanese idea that they're using, yeah. And then it all gets fluctuated throughout the rest of the world through America. So we're just following suit. That's what we do. We follow suit. We're human beings. We're like lemons. Yeah. Now think about it. In the future, Man that can't get gal are gonna have sex doll and virtual headset. So they're looking at the gal that they like and they're doing something in it. They're feeling like, yeah,
they can pick any girl that they want, innit?
Is
But
it?
they've been doing that already though, man.
Of
So in the
course.
future they're gonna be beating robots then, bro. They're not
That's
even
right.
have a doll no more. It's gonna be metal.
No, it is a robot. It is a robot. There's sex dollies that talk to you and all sorts. It is a robot, literally.
I don't even know about those ones yet, bro. Yo, where?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not even joking. Like bro, these Japanese people, yeah, they got dancing robot. They got robot doing the bogle and them thing there. Robots that do the bogle, cause like bashment dance and them thing there.
Shiffa's been over there, and Shifty's been over there and been a test dummy, man. He knows about all these robots.
No, I see it on the YouTube. Yeah, there's one dancing vipping robot. Yeah, and it's winding up a gal.
Yeah,
it's winding up a gal.
Winding it up. Yeah,
winding up. I said, "Lows, that's got the robot. Papa knew how to wind, get in the right position, arch up her back, and them thing there. Started winding up a gal. I said, "Yo."
See, all them things there's it's like, oh man, that's like, I don't know, bro. That's nasty.
Certain men are gonna be in hospital, man. Certain men are gonna be in hospital getting their things stuck in the AI.
Yeah,
that's it. Man. That's it.
You watch, bro. It's gonna be strange.
Man, them will be stealing. Man, them will be rubbing each other's somethings, bro.
Bro, man's gonna be walking on road holding the AI's hand like it's their girl, bro.
But then those things soon come out for self-defense as well. Everyone might have one of those in their house. Not as a sex doll, but as a personal, like a Jeffrey Butler.
Well, that's the whole point, though. The whole point to the way this society is built is to force us like jail prisoners into singular cells, isn't it? It's to break down the idea of relationships and having like households filled with people and have a household with one person and you can interact with everyone virtually, innit? And just do your job, just do as you've been told to do the things that is expected by society, then you get to keep the lights on, innit? And you can carry on virtual gaming and that's what it is, man. Come on, man. What else is there? What fashion? Fashion's outdated now because you can't even go to the rave. You're done. Where you going with them expensive shoes? That's dress up and that's sit down in the closet until funeral. Like that. Somebody died. All right, now you can wear it. Like that, or something serious must be going on in it for people to link up in it now, innit? Like there's no link up.
Fashion, I think fashion will be around forever. Fashion's been around from way before time, before the BC and AC and all that. From caveman day, that man was rocking fashion, different wolf skins and.
I was gonna say that when you tell for tiger skin, that's fashion, fam.
I hear you, but what's gonna happen is you see the fashion
tooth around your neck.
The fashion still.
That man was rocking chains from back then,
No,
the saber-tooth tooth.
Yeah.
Now you know what it is. Man are still gonna have the fashion, yeah. Cause man are still gonna be on camera and still trying to pop style on camera or whatever they're trying to do. But the real truth of the thing is, like, it's gonna be a lot more relaxed now because man ain't got money to waste like that. If man went and bought a $3,000 pair of trainers, he wants to wear that in front of someone. He's probably looking at gal to impress, and you ain't gonna be able to impress no gal. What you gonna do? Put it up in a picture.
It's all like you said, it's all gonna be on cameras, isn't it? We probably all live in the sky, bro. Like on the that film Fifth Element? All live up in the sky, bro.
Yeah.
Some of them films are reality,
Yeah, they are. Well, some people believe that, innit? That there's clouds with cities on it and all that.
Yeah. They're definitely realities because, like, I look at life like this: if someone can think of an idea, then someone could execute. Do you feel like
I've said that before?
So
I've said that before still.
Every time someone's thinking of an idea, someone else is executing at the same time. So right now we're talking about this, people in the future, how they're going to be interacting and raving. There's people right now in certain parts of the world, that's what they do already because they can't rave or because it's some kind of rule in the law in the government that says, you know what, we don't allow raving here. We don't allow alcohol. We don't allow this. So we find a way around it. That's what people do. That's just normal.
It's true.
Human behavior.
It's true because some places have been had curfew, right?
Exactly.
Been had curfew, been had no drinking, been had everything pretty much. It's true, 2 in at a shop at a time, 2 this line up here, line up there. I've been abroad some places and the way they carry on, it's like people lining up just to get on trams and trains and people are polite lining up outside shops. I'm thinking, I just walked to the head of the line and I'm thinking, wow, this is some different environment,
No,
I hear you.
I hear
Hey.
you, man. But like, you look at what's going on in China now. They're talking about flipping, this proper 5G experience that they're trying to implement now, in it, with all the cameras and the facial recognition. Man, get chip in their hand, just scan your hand to back pay for things and everything there. Like,
Nah, don't want none of that. Don't want none of that.
Apparently, they've already got the dogs there. The yellow dogs. They've already got those, and they're scanning people in China and telling them to get back in their yard.
Yeah, they probably
What,
have.
robot?
I don't.
Robot dog.
Yeah, man, they got the. I done a video on about 6 or 7 robots still, and
I
one of
see
them
a
was a
movie on
robot dog, and
Netflix
basically,
like that.
yeah,
There's one movie on
but they got
Netflix
a
like that
robot.
the other day.
They got a robot dog that they actually been using it, and it scans you to see if you're supposed to be where you are, if you got a warrant or anything like that. That's gonna be the one, though, isn't it? For the warrants.
But then there's gonna be there's gonna be always someone to hack that dog or do something. There's always gonna be someone to overwrite something. You can't have good without bad.
I hope so.
I wonder if that dog's related to Murphy, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You soon
Who's that
see Murphy walking
Robocop?
around. You soon see Murphy.
I said Murphy,
Robocop,
Man, like Murph. Listen, I hear you though still, because right now the way technology's going, prosthetic limbs they're crazy right now. They're actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I see one thing where a guy could use his brain to move something. He wasn't even using his hands, not even physically doing nothing, like proper paralyzed. And they wire something to his brain, and he's moving things around with his brain. So it's only so long,
We've advanced so much, so much over these years.
Yeah.
But things like that are going to make the world more dangerous, though, because do you remember that film back in the day? What's the film? And the man's like, it's like a clown robot, and it's like he's controlling the clown. Do you remember that? Is it called FX or something like that? And my man's like,
a film called FX.
He puts on like a suit, but when he's moving around in the suit, the robot does everything that he does at the same time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's almost like the effect would be, let's say I put this robot like into the world, and I'm in the computer, and I can control the robot from the computer. The robot's out there in the world, like it's just an avatar now, isn't it? But it's in the real world. Now that's dangerous.
It's not the one with a man and a woman in it, is it?
Nah. The man puts on the suit, and then anything he does, if he moves his arm, the robot moves its arm, innit? But he could be in a complete another place, innit?
And the one in the desert? Are they in the desert?
Nah, it's a white man. He's in the city.
Oh, okay.
But anything he does, the robot will do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I've seen that same kind of thing. Like when you look at them things like Power Ranger or Pacific Rim or whatever, it's a similar kind of thing. Whatever he's doing inside the machine, this machine's doing outside. But this one, you don't even have to be there. They don't even have to be inside the thing. You understand? Like,
well, they can just be like, but that's how the army want it like that eventually, man. That's probably why they're getting so much people to play Call of Duty, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, controlling, because don't forget they got drones in it. They got spy drones in it.
Yep.
So someone's got to be unless they're navigational, someone's got to be controlling that from somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, this is just a theory, but I honestly think what we're gearing up for, the reason why I think it's going that way is Star Wars, man. Like, because who's going out to another planet where we don't even know if we can breathe out there. You don't know what's waiting for you out there. And if they really believe there's life there, they might be going to war and looking to send some robot drones rather than send actual human beings. Because then you ain't gonna have the same type of fear. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You just go in there. It's just an avatar. It's just a game to you, isn't it? It's a game.
True. Remember, the thing is what we know is only what they tell us as well. No matter how much we research, it will be blocked at a certain point.
Brethren, I was watching that.
None of us have rockets to go to space to actually find out what's actually.
That's a good point that you just made as well, and I want people to know as well that the technology that they're giving us now. And technology that they're giving us now, BR, they're like 40 years ahead of us, mate.
Virgin, we
Of
got the
course.
drones already. Listen, we already got the drones. Do you remember that film back in the day with Robin Williams? Yeah, and he's got the little kids, and they all go to little place, and they're flying the aeroplanes around and blowing up shit, and they just think they're playing a computer game. But little did
I
they
remember that
know.
game. I remember
Do you
that
remember
film.
that film?
They made a game to it as well. I remember that film.
What is it called? Is it called Toys or something like that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Toy
remember
soldiers,
that.
toy
Toy
Just
soldiers
Soldiers.
toys.
or something.
No, just toys.
Yeah.
Just toys. It's just toys. And these kids think they're just playing with a toy. It's just a computer game. But the planes are going around and really blowing things up in the real world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's where I think we're really going with this, like, because if you just think it's a game, you're just gonna do your best to be good at the game, innit? Like, they've worked that out, though, innit? They worked that out. They might not know what they're doing with this game that they're playing. It might be real, do you know, like that. You might be.
Really, that goes back to yeah. I know what you're saying. They might be thinking that it's not real, and then what they do, because you know what it is about this Nintendo and PlayStation thing, they can find a Microsoft thing. They can find who the best players are. All they got to do is go into the leaderboard.
Yeah.
And there's your guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's it. Bang. You man are going flipping Starship Trooping with your robot friend. Like that, mashing up things. And the thing is, like, even when we say this now, you got to think about it like this as well. Like, every time we're playing these games and playing these things, we're all connecting to the internet, innit? So we're interacting with something, innit? Now, as far as we're concerned, we're just interacting with a friendly game console. We don't know if there's a sinister side to all of this, though. We don't know if there's, like I said, someone who's connecting you to some type of robot that's going out and really doing the things that you're seeing on the screen, and there's no way that it's impossible. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? Because if the screen can understand your controls and move around the way you're telling it to move around, then I'd imagine that a robot can, innit?
True that.
Like that, like man playing World of Tanks and them thing there. You could be controlling a real tank, blowing up things. You're thinking it's just
same like with remember the remote control cars back in the days? If you two of your man them, you might start controlling your boy's remote control car. Yep. Walkie-talkies, you pick up other stations, and I was having fun with the walkie-talkies the other day.
Yeah, it's all about frequencies, isn't it? It's all about frequencies.
Yeah, the frequencies, yeah. I was cracking up on that, man.
I'll be honest with you, since you're talking about walkie-talkies, people, I just want to let you know something, If we ever have like a power grid go down or anything like that, walkie-talkies will probably be the only thing you'll be able to communicate on. So if you can invest in some walkie-talkies,
I got some
at
strong
least
ones,
man. At least 2 per household or something.
Yeah.
Right?
And make sure you got candles. Make sure you got candles in your house too, man. Everyone should have candles.
No, you're right. That's why the army roll with them things, walkie-talkies and them thing in their car. When everything else goes down, you got a backup in it. You have to have a backup plan for the backup plan for the backup plan.
That's right.
Yeah,
always.
So big up everyone. Big up Madman Menace. Big up Flat Level Under the Dome. Big up Western Goddess. Simiyard D.
Put the link in the chat.
Pitch, Simon.
Blast that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But now you see what we're talking about, though. Yeah, in a way, it is real, though, because you think the army has got them drones right now, where a guy's not actually there. He's sat in a little box. He's flying the airplane. He can see the landscape. He knows how to fly it with the controllers that he's got at the little desk that he's at, and he's just aiming at things and blasting up places. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Real talk is happening right now. So.
And they can read the what you call it, birds. You see, from bird's eye view, they can read the road from up there, like how we can read the streets from on the ground, bro. Like it's mad how they can do it like that. Same as how the helicopter police do it.
Yeah,
they can move through the sky looking at. They know the roads already before they even get to it.
That's right. Same way that man just driving up the road in their car. You just get to know the roads.
You just get to know that. Same as them airplane man in the army and that. I watched one movie about that as well, about how them helicopter man be blowing up stuff and how they feel after that.
Yeah, they do it from a high up as well. They can't even be seen.
Yeah,
do you remember that film?
Drop bombs.
Do you remember that film? Is it Law Abiding Citizen with Jamie Foxx? And I can't remember the guy's name in the film. And he's like a terrorist. He's like a mad terrorist kind of guy, but he's fucking up the place differently. He will coming out of jail, in and out of jail, and blowing people up and doing madness in the film. And he calls out the drone thing, like they're at some policeman's funeral or something. You just see the drone just driving through the funeral, just start letting off shots. It just starts letting off one big machine, rockets and all sorts of things. So
how would you feel if there was drones like police? Because you know that some police, you know, there was a squad in America. They used the zone to gas a man out. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, how would people feel about that? Like having drones instead of police?
I think that's where we're going though. That's what I'm pointing at. Like, because you look at it like that in them films and them things. They're like, you know, the police, they don't want to be outgunned in it or outmanned in it. They want to have the most power in it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they want to have the most sophisticated weaponry. So that's where I see it going.
Oh, for sure, intelligent.
Yeah.
Even that can get it wrong, man.
But even in the sense that, remember, like a computer or a robot or something, it don't feel pain in it. So, you know, if they build it with certain types of materials and structure it a certain way, that thing is going to be indestructible. It can just walk in your house and hold you. You can't even shoot it.
Yeah.
You could try, no matter what you try, it's going to mash you up now. You best behave, innit? Because it's too dangerous, guys.
That's why I wouldn't have one of them. If they start selling them, I wouldn't have one of them as a helper in the house.
It's too much power, man.
Too much power. Because everyone will start having them. You know what I mean? People start rewiring them. People start rewiring them to do other stuff.
Yeah. Might start hacking the robots.
Yeah, spray
that wouldn't be good,
and all that.
You know, but that's what the thing. They would spoil the whole situation. It would go left.
Yeah. Might as well just run the Transformers. The Transformer will be better, innit?
That's why I think people are a bit scared of these automated cars as well, though, because if someone hacks the car while you're driving now, you know, you're doing big 80 miles an hour. Yeah, you're
screwed, bro.
Turn up, turn up, mate.
Yeah, leave the cruise control on. You're finished.
Or turn your car into a remote control car and drive you into a police car. You know, like that. Do something fuckeries. Like, you got to think someone could do something really bad.
Haven't you seen them devices that they've got in America? They used to come on them old police programs when they can actually go a certain distance behind your car and they mess with the waves and it slows your car down, bro.
But I remember this from Knight Rider. Don't remember when they hacked Knight Rider? They hacked Kit, and Kit started playing up. He started acting a fool and mashing up the place and shooting when he's not supposed to shoot and doing dumb stuff. So obviously this has been in the making for years.
No, it's funny that you just said that, yeah. That was important what you just said. So basically what you're saying is that he was doing his own thing. So like if this AI technology, because that's what it would be in it and everything. So it would have to build its own brain, innit? Because when Elon Musk first come out, bro, he was talking like it's not a good thing, but now he's involved. Let me just play a little clip to you guys. Check this out.
Very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. This is really like the scariest problem to me, particularly if there's a third world war. I think that's the single biggest existential crisis that we face. The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. This is a case where you have a very serious danger to the public. Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
Self-explanatory, said it himself.
Like, he said it himself, and this is a man that's involving himself in it. And he's saying that it's more...
I've worked Elon out, man. I've worked him out already. He said when this stuff was coming out first, he's looking around the world and seeing all this technology, saying, nah, this is dangerous. Because someone's going to be in control of all of this, all of these robots.
I'm going to get involved.
Yeah, he wants to be the one to make that robot. Use my one. Because if you use my one, then I got the override. I got the special button. You understand? You know, like a computer game, you got tricks on there, you got hackers, you got people that can get into the system different. They can do things, they can see through walls and all sorts of things. I've seen it on Call of Duty. Man are cheating. Man have dropped out of the sky on Warzone and has got his loadout already. That don't make sense. No one's got their loadout already. You have to get your money first and buy your loadout, innit? So we know that these hackers are out there, innit? And the reason the hackers are out there is because they probably worked for the company who built the machine, so they know all the ins and outs, innit? Simple.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I was
let me
gonna
tell
say
you
that.
this though.
I was gonna say the hackers work with them to build it. The hackers
Yeah,
have to work with them. They have to have a hacker to build it, so it
but
can
the
be
thing is
break-proof,
though,
innit? Hack-proof.
yeah,
Someone
most
who
definitely.
understands coding, isn't it? Because if you
Yeah,
don't,
the coding side of it.
yeah, if you don't understand coding, then you're not going to be able to get into the more finite intricacies of the flipping the building of the platform, because a computer is a platform. That's why you
That's
can
right.
build a computer inside a computer. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's
It's
right.
just components. So it's about
That's right.
making the computer understand that this is a component and this is what it does. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
And if the
So
coding ain't right, you ain't reading it
But
right.
let me just go back to what you were saying though. So you were saying that basically you feel that Elon Musk is on a rat race, like, and I think of boy, I want to get before someone else gets it, and it's dangerous. Because he said in a video that I made a video about Elon Musk and the AI thing before, and he basically said his own words was, "Boy, if you can't beat them, join them." You know what I'm saying? So you're right, Shiv, from what you said. That's the way he feels about it. And but the thing is this though. My thing is this: if Elon wasn't is able to make these type of things though, yeah, and be involved in AI, wouldn't you say that he must be one of the elites, or if not part of them?
yeah,
Because
I'd
if
say
not,
that.
no, hold on. Because if not, yeah, wouldn't he be? Wouldn't they treat him as like a? If someone has got his own power, treat him like a terrorist, right?
Well, ultimately, I think that Elon Musk is obviously he's very power hungry, you know, which can come across tyrannical, you know, depending on what your status is in life or in the world, you know. But obviously,
But I
you
don't
know,
know. I don't know if I would say he's power hungry or is he just interested in his research, bro? 'Cause I haven't really
well,
seen him do anything that
when you
results
say
in.
this, all right, you see what you just said there. That's where I get to with it. Like when people are so interested in this research, yeah, like I just look at what is your agenda, what is it you're that interested in? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you got all this money and research teams and power, and you know, I understand that some people might say, well, making a robot it's going to help to make the world better. You know, more technology is going to make life easier. I could understand that, but you know, I think that there's other technologies that you could be working on to make the world a better place, other than just AI and you know, fast cars or you know,
Okay, so
electric
would you
cars,
say
which
then, yeah, that would you say
have been
that
around before he came up with the
there's an
idea.
agenda?
Well, I'll be honest, like I never knew about this. Someone else told me about this. I know someone who studies like cars and mechanics and whatever else, and they said to me, you know, that they learned that in history there was an electric car like before, you know, any of these electric cars now, and you know, it was kind of blocked by the industry.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So things like that would establish in my mind that there's definitely a power struggle. You know, there's some people who don't want to see certain types of technology come out, and when someone
Okay.
does push a certain type of technology, they definitely got an agenda, because it's all about control. If you think about it, Facebook, you know, they're pushing out their technology when it first comes out, and it's all free, it's all friendly, it's all funky, it's all fresh, but there was definitely an agenda involved, which was control. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So now all of these other platforms that are, you know, these social platforms, whether it be social media, whether it be
Right.
YouTube or whatever it may be, yeah, like whatever you're on, like they're gonna try and get their control. They're gonna try and, you know, solidify their control, because they was the first ones as far as they're concerned. All of you other guys, you came in after them, and your thing just does what their thing does, you know, in a different way, or you've added a different little tweak to it, you know, but it's still the same thing. It's connecting people. That's what it was always about. And who wants to be in control of connecting people other than a control freak? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then when you establish it like that, even if it's a group or a body of people, you know, they want that power for a reason. There's a reason, because it don't just
What?
command
Who?
money.
What group? You're talking about Elon? That's what I was gonna say to you. You're talking about
Any group.
No, you're talking about. So what? So you wouldn't say that Elon Musk must be working with a different group then?
I'd say that Elon Musk is just one man, but I'd say that, you know,
What?
behind the man, I'd say Elon
Yeah.
Musk himself is just one man, but behind the
Right.
man, you know, you're going to find, you know, groups of people working with him to achieve the goals and, you know, the necessary having the necessary information to facilitate, the control over the industries they're trying to get into.
So you don't think there's people above him, not behind him?
I think above, behind, below, to the sides. Do you know, like
Pause.
there's a whole team. There's a whole team. Like, you got to think that's how it goes, isn't it? It will be the Elon Musk team, isn't it? Like, you're fighting for what Elon Musk believes in, isn't it? And you believe in Elon and he believes in you. You know, like that. Like, I don't know. That's how I look at these scientists, guys, and these, people who's pushing these technologies. But like I said, what is their agenda? When they came out with the mobile phone, you think about it like this. The mobile phone has been around for how many years? It's been around for decades now, yeah? Now, obviously, at first, we had the big, ugly phone, yeah? The one that was the car phone. The one that your uncle had with the big aerial, and you can't use it properly because you can't even hear and talk at the same time. It's too big, like that. And then it's got smaller and smaller and smaller. It's got more advanced. And they've come up with the smartphone. Then from the smartphone, it's like they've backtracked and made the phone less smart. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like the technology's always been there. So what is their agenda with it when they give it to us? You understand? Like, if you think about it like this, when they gave us the smartphone, not the smartphone, the iPhone, yeah, and the Samsung with the apps, the App Store. When they gave you the App Store, it was so that everyone's now got access in it to certain things, in it. So you now no longer have an excuse. When they say to you, we need you to be online, you must be able to get online. Everyone can get online. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? Now, if you can't get online, there's a problem with you. There's something wrong with you. In this day and age, you can't get online. No, you have to have internet. You have to be able to do it. You have to be able to answer the email. All right. No, my phone don't do email. Okay, you don't do email. All right, cool. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to say all of them type of phones, like, we're just going to like make them look like they're rubbish. Like they're not worth the money that was spent on them. Do you understand? And make you look like you're some idiot walking around with an old phone. Do you feel where I'm coming from? Or if you're not an idiot walking around with an old phone, you must have something to hide. Do you know, like that? And people now start talking to you with certain rhetorics because that's the way it's been programmed to force you in. Do you feel where I'm coming from? You remember back in the day, like you used to see them lines in Catford, yeah, by the flipping where the job center used to be, yeah, and it wasn't called the job center, it was called the DSS. I remember, and you see them lines, and it's the guy in there used to just sign up little bits of paper and get some money out of there. That's what I'm trying to say. But now you can't just sign them bits of paper because anyone could have been going in there signing them bits of paper. You have people who was going in there signing that one, then going up to flipping, I don't know, wherever, Guildford, and signing one up there, and then going up to another place, signing one over there. Do you know, like that? So they had to say, no, we got to rein this in because some people are too smart. They'll get clever. They'll get like, do you know, like that? So they found ways of locking it down, locking it down until it's got to this point now where the technology is so precise. And that's what the machine's about. That's why they need you to have the one that you've got now. They don't need you to have the old one. Like that. So what they're going to do is they brought out the new PlayStation. What did they do? They said, you know what? We'll take a loss. We don't care. We need you to have the new one. We need it. Yeah. Can you see this new one? Once you got this new one, we know every little thing about you. This new one is so smart. It tells us what you're thinking. It tells us how you feel about certain games and certain things. So we know exactly what to send to you. We're going to give you the right discount. We're going to give you all of that because we know how you spend. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? Like,
funny, it came out on the 5 as well, isn't it? It so happened to come out on the 5.
All right. And all of these things have got the Facebook and all of these things on them. So when you look now, what you're going to realize is, like, for instance, someone was showing me a video. I can't remember who it was, but someone was showing me this video about Facebook. Yeah, and I don't even know. It was my girl. She was watching the video, and I was watching, looking over her shoulder. And this woman's talking about on Facebook, it's tracking all of your movements, even when you're not off, even when you're off of Facebook. You're not on Facebook now. You've gone on Amazon, and now Facebook's looking at what you're looking at on Amazon. It's looking at what you're looking at on YouTube. It's looking at what you're looking at wherever you go from here on out. He's here with you. We're looking with you. So then, like, even little things like, when you go to type something in, it might make those suggestions straight away. Before you've even started typing, you might just type one letter and all of a sudden the whole thing bro, it's like I was almost thinking that and that was the right thing.
Knows you.
You know what? and then you just search, you didn't even think about it, you just gone in and you end up buying it. It's trying to help you, innit?
It's promotion, isn't it? It's free
But it's
promotion.
control. But it's control. It's not just free promotion. It's control to
And
an
it's
extent.
prediction of your brain.
Yeah, and but when I say control, I mean control to the extent where you know they've worked out, you know, exactly what it is you will go for and won't go for. So now they know exactly what to put out. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Remember, as humans as well, we are predictable. That's why our phone knows. That's why your phone knows what you're gonna type in.
That's what it is, man.
You know, you use the same words all the time. By now, if you've had your phone for enough time, you're predictable.
Yeah, but it's the smartest form of marketing because you think like this, yeah. Say like something's really, really expensive, yeah. Like let's say there's a computer that costs 50 grand. Most people ain't gonna buy the 50 grand computer. They're gonna spend maybe even one, they might not even spend 1 grand, might spend 3 bills, 5 bills. You understand?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But then, you know, there's gonna be a percentage of people out there that will spend the 50 grands. Do you understand? They will spend that. And now it's going to be so much easier to find them. And now we know that on average, you know, each time we bring out a new 50 grand computer, only 20 people buy it. All right. You know what? We wanted to sell 100 of them. So now we're charging 100 grand. But we know them 20 people still going to buy. We don't business, you know, like that. We already know. So when you look at these new PlayStations that's come out or whatever, they've said, all right, we're going to make X amount. Yeah. And then they sell off fast, innit? There ain't enough.
Yeah.
You understand?
No, but they knew what they was doing. It was the marketing. They got their marketing.
All right. So once they've lost some money on them, a percentage of those people who bought a PlayStation bought 2 or bought 3 and tried to just monopolize the market because they're thinking they was going to run out anyway. And now that they've run out, I'm selling this one for double.
Yep.
You know, like that. I'm selling this one for triple. I'm just putting stupid prices out there and seeing if anyone buys. And some idiot will end up buying. Some people are going to get in trouble for it. You know, we've heard about the guy that got robbed for the PlayStation or whatever, you know. So, you know, strange things are going to happen. But ultimately, it gives them
You got robbed for the PlayStation.
Some guy who was trying to sell PlayStations overpriced and got robbed for a PlayStation. Like, but it's happened. They're not just on one occasion. Like loads of people, it's happened to, man. Because they're trying to sell overpriced PlayStations. You just like make sure that you do postage and packing in it. Make sure it's one of them deals because you don't want to be meeting no one to sell no overpriced PlayStation. I wouldn't.
No,
but,
you see, this thing is some people just into like you say, into the fashion, into the up-to-date thing too much, bro.
You see it?
I can't give 2 Fs about no PlayStation 5. I don't even play my PlayStation 4 like that. You know what I mean?
But when you play the PlayStation 5 now, what you're gonna realize is that the game's gonna move faster. It's gonna be more reactive. It's more responsive.
Of course it will. Of course.
Like everything's gonna be updated in it. It's gonna feel like the ultimate tweak. You know, like when they brought out the Xbox and then they brought out the Xbox that had the faster flipping hard drive and they supered it up a little bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So but if it wasn't that way, I'll take it back to the shop and throw it in the shopkeeper's face, bro. If it weren't better than the last one.
Yeah, but even more so than that, like this one is going to interact with you more. It's going to know certain things about it. You know,
that's how they make their money though with these different versions and all that.
Yeah, that's how they make their money. Slim, bring out that one. They're going to bring out this one.
Yeah,
but it's all marketing. They had this pre-plan. Like you got to think, why did they bring out all these last games for the PS4? If they're going to bring out the PS5.
Virgin, I call my computer Darren Brown. My computer is like a magician. It just knows all the things that I like and it keeps popping them up on the screen. It will keep showing me adverts. If I type in something else, it will show me something else that I like. It knows I like, knows what I want. He knows.
Yeah. Same.
He's trying to work out ways to make me spend. Like I'm cautious, but I have spent a little bit on the computer for that reason because it keeps showing me them and I want it and I like it and it knows what I like.
So you're a gamer. So you're a gamer then?
No, I just mean the computer in general. Like, so when I bought my computer, like I bought it with a little music package on there, like a little Cubase, and you get a little sound card.
You mean that kind of cube? Okay, PC, Mac computers. Okay.
Before you knew it, it starts sending me all of these like programs and sending me all flipping downloads for samples, and it's sending me all sorts of things. So it's like, you know what? I end up buying a couple of new things and upgrading my one, and you know, I bought 2 game. Now it's sending me games every minute. It's telling me about this game or this game, and it will show you the advert. You just see the advert, the preview. So when I turn on the computer, the first thing the computer does it brings out the Xbox thing as soon as I turn on the computer every single time, and it will show me a video of the new game or the new thing that they're launching for you and showing you. And then I have to close that down. Then it will show me Spotify, it will show me all the new tunes I can be listening to and rare tear. So then I close that down. By the time I close that down, like the App Store and everything's just there, innit? It's just tempting you. By the time you go on Google, it's just showing you things from it, showing you adverts. The computer is too smart.
Who's it? Cousin's Xbox. You plugged it into something of mine, and every time after that, even when you weren't around, bruv, this Xbox stuff started popping up everywhere. And I don't even play Xbox no more, fam. I ain't played that for years.
No, I'm hearing it still. I'm hearing it, fam. Like, I just think that this technology nowadays is getting more and more dangerous, especially with all the camera, the microphone. Because right now we're on the camera and the microphone. Yeah, we're on YouTube. Yeah, like people are watching, listening all over the place. We don't know who's really controlling this, innit? Like, obviously, we know Streamlab, but Streamlab could be doing all sorts and sending this all sorts of places otherwise and scrutinizing things. And I just think everything's the policeman. Everything is the policeman. Why else would they do it? You know, like that? That's why they did it, man, to police you.
Eye recognition and all of that's in there. All of that. Same as one of my Alexas. I plugged that out a long time ago. Yeah, man. I had the box thing on the side. You can ask questions to and to play music and this, that, the other. And I started thinking, oh, man, you're just sitting there on any given time, and when I speak, you're ready to go.
That's all mad. That's mad. That's mad. Like, when you think of these sites like Instagram, Snapchat, and all of these things, people are there, sat, pose up in front of camera every minute. Even when you're not pose up in front of the camera and you flick through all of them things, the camera's looking at you. Do you feel where I'm coming from? And this is the problem that I have. Because not only is the camera...
guys would be jacking off. Guys would be jacking off, yeah?
That's what a glue tack is for, bro. When you're not using your camera, you glue tack the front and back.
Yeah. You guys be jacking off, yeah, and people are watching you.
Brethren, man are using their phone, flick, having big conversations about big intricate things while they're flicking through these social networks. These times your phone's got a camera and a microphone, so it's not just seeing you, it's hearing you. And then it's like, you know, when you're on these sites, it's telling you that it wants to invade your privacy. It's not asking you, it's telling you that it wants to invade your privacy. And you have to accept its invasion of your privacy before it lets you continue.
That's it.
If you're using it, you've given them the rights. That's it.
That's right. And then once you give them that right, that means someone potentially on Facebook could be listening to people's conversations and listening and watching their cameras and watching what they're doing.
Is it at any given moment or only when you're on it?
I think when you're on Facebook, you know,
I've never had a Facebook.
No, I'm saying when you're on Facebook, you think that when you come off of Facebook stopped working. But I was watching this video on someone's phone, and long story short, you know, this woman's saying that when you come off of Facebook, it's still tracking your shopping, everything you're doing, the sites you look at, X, Y, Z. So, you know, there's still potential there for your camera to still be accessible. Especially if you've given it permission, because remember it keeps asking for permissions all the time. You want to take a picture and post it up, or you want to do a stream or whatever, permission, give me permission. When I went onto this stream today, it asked me for permission. Today on this occasion I've said no, I'm not giving permission, because I'm not really like in that kind of mode where I feel comfortable to have the camera on. But once you give that permission, when do you relinquish the permission? Where's the button that says I'm taking my permission away now?
Yeah, it's true.
Do you feel where I'm coming from?
That's why I have glue tack, man. So my mum and my bro, they're deep on all these things about, you know, cameras and the TV, the camera on it, the place, everything's got cameras on.
It's deep. It is deep.
My Marjay won't even have Alexa in the house. She won't even have Alexa in the house or nothing that talks.
You understand? You're giving it permission.
Videos on the Alexa. I've seen videos on the Alexa and they're all laughing at night time and everything. You seen that?
Yeah, bro. If you've got Alexa, you can ask her certain questions. Go on YouTube and you can find out certain questions, ask Alexa, and you'll get some weird answers, bro.
That's funny though. Imagine just hear some laughter in the night time. That's like a ghost.
Yeah, trust.
Yeah, like you're going to the bathroom and that at night and you're hearing
Yeah, or you hear some chuckling, some baby chuckle, and they ain't got no baby in the house. You're like, hold on. I'll feel
Someone
wheelchair.
probably set that as alarm.
I hope for picnic this in the yard. Oh, that would make me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have to find the box and make sure it was it.
Alexa's something different, bro.
That's the time we live in right now, man. That's what's going on right now. You know what I mean? The
Mm.
technology is just on a different level now. Like, look, for example, the schools, the way the technology with the gates and all the codes on the door. Now, when I went to
Yep.
go and pick up my daughter, I'm seeing codes. You got to tap in code, they buzz you from in there, and that's what
It's
it is
Fort
now.
Knox.
So we're
It's
talking
Fort
about
Knox.
right, and we were talking about the cashless society the other day, innit?
Yeah.
Mm.
And we're talking about the cashless society and all that, man. And yeah, this is what we've got coming.
Well, that's what it's coming to. Like when you
I
look
just want
right
to. I just
now,
want to.
we got that already with the card. You punch in the number, same thing. Like you said, you go to the school, you punch in the number. You're playing Call of Duty, you go to the bunker. Guess what you got to do? You punch in the number, and then you can get inside. You understand? Like, so it's programming you. The world around you is programming you to think a certain way and to strategize a certain way, so that when it
The world is
implements that
built with
change,
coding, numbers and codes. It's a mathematical world. You know, you can't build nothing without numbers, you know.
I'm hearing you
You need
still.
numbers. You need numbers for everything.
I'm hearing you still.
Anything extra you want to cover, Shift, today?
Not really, man. I think this is a good conversation. I don't really want to tarnish it with no type of foolishness. Like, we just keep it as it is.
Yeah. Now, I appreciate both of you on the panel, man. I appreciate as well that when we spoke about certain situations that we kept wise with our words. And I hope anyone that's listening that wants to jump on the panel just know that, like, the situation that we're in now, we have to be very careful how we speak on YouTube, because they will cut off man's thing straight pause.
100.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate that, man. Definitely, man.
What
I just
do you
want to play
think?
one track. Go on, Shift, go on. Sorry.
What do you, man, think about overpopulation? Do you think that that's maybe a contribution to, some of what's going? Because I've heard this rhetoric from someone that, because the world's overpopulated, there's, people have got to die in it. It's the world trying to fix itself and tear. I've heard this rhetoric. So what do you, man, think about overpopulation? Do you think it's a thing? Do you think it's a fallacy, fantasy, reality? Where do you stand?
I think it's an excuse. What do you think, BR?
I think it's real talk, you know. Because
You think it's
even
overpopulated?
even David Attenborough told me that. Well, not me specifically, but I think it's overpopulated, man. And with that, of course, it's going to spread diseases. You know, if you put a load of mice or animals in one cage and overfill that cage, what's going to happen? Something in that cage is going to get infected, and it's going to spread. Same as the planet.
Can I rephrase the question then? Do you think Do you think that the world is actually overpopulated, or do you think there's a chance that it could just be certain parts of the world are oversaturated?
Right, that's what I think. The second part. So I basically feel, and that's what I was gonna say just now, BR. Like, if they keep pushing people in the same place, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you live in London, when you hit the motorway, as it goes out and out, there's less people in it.
True,
you know what I'm saying? So they make they push people into the city,
towns,
bro.
Yeah, into the
city. You know what I'm trying to say?
City, sorry, in the city,
and that's why I would, and the towns. Yeah, you're right, and that's why I would say that if you look at the earth, there's plenty of land, bro.
And space.
It's whatever.
Like
it's whatever there.
You're driving down the motorway, both sides is empty.
It's empty. Empty. Yeah? And so it's whatever they want to put money into. You understand what I'm trying to say? So they supply houses to people, like you said, that all bunched up shit for you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's why it's like that. But there's land in America. There's bare land. There's enough land, bro.
Have you ever heard about these things where like they're trying to make land in the water?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, I've seen it still.
Now, obviously, in saying that it's oversaturated and there is enough land, why do you think they'd be trying to make land in the water if there wasn't like a shortage?
Yeah, but that might be an experiment, no, Shift. I haven't really seen none of them. I ain't seen none of them people let ordinary people go and live there. when I see ordinary people go and live there, and then that's when I'll say, all right, cool. But for now, that's just an experiment to me, bro.
I hear you still. I hear you. I
You know
thought
what
I'd
I'm
just
saying?
see where you man stand on that still, because I think that as far as overpopulation, yeah,
Yeah.
if we was to look at the world logistically, now obviously the major cities of the world are populated. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And certain countries are a lot more populated than others. So, like for instance, if we look at the population of Britain, which is like a small little island in comparison to I don't know, even say Australia then or New Zealand or somewhere like that, which is a lot bigger, but the population I believe is a lot less in New Zealand. Let me just double check that.
So like flat level under the dome is saying, look at the size of Alberta, Canada. Only 4 million people, way bigger than the UK. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah, that's
it
basically the
makes you wonder,
same
innit?
example. Yeah.
Makes you wonder what's so special about England's land, innit? That it's so small, but yet still it's a big capital and an important place on the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but
Well,
like I was saying,
UK is overpopulated, isn't it?
it, yeah, because the way, like we said earlier on, the way that they set it up is the way that they set it up. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is, you have to understand that when we're talking about overpopulation and we're talking about the people them complaining about it, we have to also we have to talk about food. You know what I'm saying? Because the world really can't be overpopulated unless there's a food problem.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying?
True.
And they're complaining about our food problem as well. That's why they're making food in the lab. You see what I'm saying?
That's the thing, because
So,
we do consume a lot, especially
yeah, but do we
animal-wise. Fruit
consume a
and veg
lot
is
though?
different.
Bro, do we consume a lot or do they sell a lot?
They sell a lot, which we buy, tend to then consume.
Right.
But then the
But
money
did we
obviously
put
goes back in,
ourselves in
innit?
that problem? Did we put
Nah, they
ourselves
did.
in that problem? They did. That's what I'm saying. It's mad, bro. It's mad.
It's always a
And
chain of
now,
events, isn't it? Chain of events.
right. Do you know what I'm saying? And now there's a food crisis. And then, you know, people of today and people in the chat, I hope you're listening. Hey, look, some of you people on Instagram, man, you lot eat too much, man. You lot eat too much, man. Some of the pictures that I see on Instagram, you lot be thinking that you're doing something good, having different types. You eat too much food, man.
And they probably dash
You
it in
don't
the
need to
bin
eat
too.
so you don't need to eat so much food, man. Get me? Like, you're not impressing anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because you can go to a cheap ass joint. You can go to a cheap ass joint and make the table look good, man. You know what I'm saying? But that you don't eat too much food, man. Seriously, you're not impressing no one, man. You make sure you do the same amount of sit-ups as you do eating food. Yeah. Serious,
No,
man.
it's
But
true.
yeah, what was
But
you
if you're not
saying, man?
gone there, some
My
people
little
it's
rant.
just food, you know. Cooking 100 meals per week, and you think, right, you even boxing that food though.
Well, I don't get it wrong. I know, like, it can be boring in London, so when you get a plate of food, you're excited. But calm down, man. It's food, man.
Nah, word.
Serious, man. No, I don't care what restaurant you went to and how much you paid. I've been to restaurants. I've done it. I've done it all myself. It's bullshit, man. It's just food, man.
I just think that
it's just food. Don't go and go to a restaurant and give someone £150 for what, man? The
just
food
to
that
get
you can make in your yard.
Just to get back onto the other conversation a bit, I just think that the way society is set up in, you know, in Western society, then for instance, you know, everything's in the city. So we all want to dwell near to the city or the town center. Do you know where I'm coming from? But that if we was less inclined to do that, it would give them less control because we'd be less dependent. But we are dependent. We make ourselves dependent because we all try and occupy the same place. What I'm trying to say, less people want to take a risk and go out there. They'd rather go where everyone else went. And that's the truth of it. So, you know, are we the problem?
Country living is sick though, man. I tell you, that's the one, boy. This town city living is long at sometimes, boy. Country living is good. The air is so much better. I'll tell you that for free, fam. You actually look up at the sky at night time and there's stars out there. Like, I'm not living in the country right now, but I go back and forth from the country all the time. You can actually
he
see stars at night
probably
time.
definitely have a longer lifespan. Most definitely probably have a longer lifespan living in the country.
Yeah, man. All the locals in the countryside where man head to, yeah, they're all old, man. You see all the locals in the local shop, old timers, all greyed up.
Only thing is there ain't as many opportunities in the country.
Yeah, that's pretty much obvious though. There's more opportunities opening up though because it's changing in the countrysides now. A lot of
You'd have to go there
younger
with a
people
plan.
and go there with a plan. And there's obviously like footballers and stuff like that. They're buying into a lot of the places and open up a lot of new things nowadays in countrysides as well.
Mm.
So you got famous people putting in, not famous, rich people putting in money, investing.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, Shift, there's not that many opportunities. So, if someone loses a job, someone takes it, that's it. You got to wait for a job.
That's it.
Unless you're
Like,
doing something else.
It's not going to be like you said. Say, for instance, you work for the council. There might be in your area one council in comparison to living in London then. And
there's
you've got
loads.
you got 10 different councils in, close accessible distance. You feel where I'm coming from? So your job opportunities are going to be higher. You feel where I'm coming
Of course, 100%. And the pay difference is different too. Way different.
It depends where you work, but in certain jobs, yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah. London pays always more. London pays more. Because when I've worked for companies before, when we've had to go to company meetings and that, my pay was always more than the people out of London's.
Yeah.
That's because of London's cost to live is more than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a good thing it is. You know what I mean?
No, I'm good, man. London's cost is more than out of London, isn't it?
I think, the way people get paid here in this country, especially, it's all down to negotiation. It's how you interact with people as well. Because, for instance, in my job, I could work in London and he would pay me X amount a day. But if I work outside of London, I still want the same fee regardless, because, to me, that's just the going rate. I'm not taking less. But if you don't know that that's the going rate, you might be used to something else, innit? Do you feel like I'm coming from?
True. Makes sense. But like I said, when we used to go to some of these events and whatever, and I used to meet with some other people from the company that's out of London, they were shocked on the pay level, innit? We do the exact same thing. But just because I'm from London and they're from out of London, a bit further out, or, down, what you call it, up of the UK or down of the UK, our pay brackets was completely different.
I hear you. Now, do you know what? You're right in the sense of,
but because they're used to it, because we're used to it, because you've been working for a while. I'm used to my bracket, they're used to their bracket, and like you said, it's if you've never seen it before, you're not used to it. It's nothing new.
No, I hear that still. I just think that if you work for a company, if you're a company man, it's a big company, it's got employees all over the place, it probably knows a little bit about the lay of the land.
That's right.
To how things work, X, Y, Z. So they might economize that and say, well, we're going to pay over here a little bit less.
That's right.
A little bit more. But I think that in that sense, a lot of the time, what people have got to do is be more demanding. You feel what I'm trying to say?
Know your worth, innit? Know your worth.
Yeah. Because I've gone for jobs like that where a man said, you know what, I can only pay this amount. And I've done a good interview, whatever. But I'm just not I won't take your job then, innit? If you can't give me what I want, then I'm just not taking the job. Simple. You know, like that. You're not going to get what you
makes sense.
And then obviously, I think that if more people are like that, then people who are giving out jobs are going to be more inclined to, having to negotiate better with us. You know what I'm trying to say? But a lot of people are looking for a job when they're desperate. That's the thing.
Yeah. And whereas we live in this country where all what company has to do is meet the minimum wage, they don't have to punch above that if they don't want to. You feel me? And
obviously, depending on your circumstances, you might actually need that money. You might not be able to walk away. So
that's it. A job's a job, You grab that job, you can work your way up if you're willing and you want to. That's why I say to some young youths, listen, if you're trapping and you ain't making that much, go and get a job as well, man. Juggle, you can juggle. You know what I mean? The road is not everything. There's more to the life than just the roadside, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
You're right, man. All right.
Yeah, I think that's essential. Like you got to find something to do because you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. You know, a tree starts from somewhere, starts from a seed, man. It's got to grow them roots first.
In all honesty, I think it's less about the job that you got and more about the restraints that you live under or the living circumstances you're living under. Because, you know, if you're, let's say, for instance, you're 18, you just turned 18, you left college, you said, I'm just going to get a job now. Like
Yeah.
that. And you're on a little, I don't know, £9 an hour. Yeah. And you do on average like between 8 and 12 hours a day. Not gonna go overboard with it. You do a normal week, 5-day week, bang.
Yeah.
So let's say you're pulling in 4 bills, 5 bills, maybe if you're lucky, a week.
Yeah.
And you live
That's
at home.
4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah.
And you got a little £50 rent. You're all right.
That's true. For some, man.
Even if you've
But
got
then
£100
if you got
rent a week, you're all right.
but then if you got proper bills now, that chunk's gonna just shimmy down, boy.
Well, that depends on if you live at home or not, innit? That or with your mum or your parents or whatever or not. If you're still living with your parents and you've got a little £50 a week to pay out or something that they charge you, or a little £100 even, and you're getting £500 a week, you can buy hella trainers with £400 a week. You know what I'm trying to say? When the PlayStation 5 comes out, you will have it.
Yeah, it's true, because you're not worrying about nothing else.
You feel me?
No, it's true.
But obviously, only thing is that certain times you may have to put your job before certain social events and certain, you know, gatherings and X, Y, Z. But that's a minor sacrifice. You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course.
You can save money, you be all right. But now, like you said, if you're not living at home with mum and dad and you got like, I don't know, £1,000 to pay out every month and you're making flipping, I don't know, £1.5 grand, it's just, you know, it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if you're on
get
£2
taxed at least 2 bills or something. Tax 2 to 3 bills.
Even if you're on £2 grand, yeah, by the time you paid your flipping bills, like you've paid out your grand, now you got to pay for your car if you got a little car insurance. You understand? Like it's gonna dwindle down, innit? Your money's gonna dwindle by the time you eat food and put petrol in your car and tax it. Like you'll realize that you probably spent half of that grand. You understand? And by the time
That's
you
why
get into
money goes quick.
Yeah, by the time you get to social activities, that's gonna eat up all of the rest of that money that you were supposed to save, innit? Like, so
that's it.
You know, being in Corona and, you know, everyone being in the house, in a way, like if you had a job, it might be all right now for you because you
I say, you see, through the beginning from last year to now, I've saved quite good, you know. Actually, I ain't even gonna lie. Like through working, being on and off work, obviously through the lockdown, I have to stay off at work and that. But you know, whereas enough, you're not doing much, you're not going out and all that kind of stuff. You ain't spending money like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all on I think personally, it's all on the individual. And like God said, it's true. Your boss will never pay you enough to be his neighbor. Makes sense. I've heard that before as well.
Would you say a man will never pay you enough to be his neighbor?
Yeah, the boss will never pay you enough to be his neighbor.
Well, he's not trying to create a rival, is he?
Nah, but that's the thing though, yeah. It's when you got a boss, yeah. The only thing with a boss is he's always gonna have rivals. He's always gonna have any man that he hires is gonna be his rival.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you're potentially one of them. You know, like that.
You're always gonna anyone you hire. You know, when man was on Road Trappy, anyone that worked for man, you potentially my rival. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna eventually set up shop somewhere. You ain't gonna need my help after a while. When I stop dropping you something, you're gonna end up start doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Now you become my rival. Not my rival, but competitor.
Yo, P, what happened to that video you was gonna play? Do you know what? We done idols, we done rivals. I think that maybe a video could break it up a little bit, man. If you're still there.
Yeah, I need to go toilet as well.
Yo, Peniros Mind. All right, when he gets back. But I think that it was a good conversation anyway. It's a good conversation. Big up everyone in the panel. I mean, in the chat room. You still there? Should I read out some of your comments? Is that God's gift? Big up God's gift. God's gift. Your boss will never pay you enough to be his neighbor. So I think that's the same statement that BR was talking about. So big up God's gift. Flant level under the dome said, I work on the drilling rig. I get 400 CAD a day for working in the bush. Clear night skies every night. Not many chemtrails. Okay. Nice one, mate. Emily Lou E said, like growing your own food, your own shelter, your own water system. Like, I think I see where you're going with that, and that don't sound like a bad idea. Like when you got your own, it gives you an aspect of control. When you're always relying on someone else's thing, you know, it gives them the control. But yeah, Pinero, would you like to run that video that you said you had to run?
What one's that?
You said you was gonna play a track, I think, or a video.
Oh, have a little break. Yeah. Therefore, all right, people, check this one out. Yeah, you know me. What type of tracks I play? You know, I'm not playing no foolishness. Check this out. Word. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. So today we covered a couple subjects. The first subject we covered was idolatry and the importance of not being into idolatry. You know, everyone's can do what they want to do, but that's what I'm promoting. You know, idolatry meaning idols, as in the new age idols, the celebrities in Hollywood, the music industry. You know, the sports industry and others. You know what I mean? And then we covered the situation with that we're in right now with this lockdown. Then we covered that. You know what I mean? Is that big shouts out to Georgia Lynch. Big up God's gift. Black level under the dome.
Big up.
Emmy Lou E. Big up. Appreciate all your time. Dark off. Big up. WBT. Big up yourself. BR. Big up. Shiffa. Big up. Is there anything you want to bring to the table, BR?
Yeah, big up everyone, man.
You know what I mean? Big up OSG.
Yeah, big up OSG each and every time.
And make sure you
Absolutely,
guys, if you haven't subscribed to BR Reality TV, he has his own channel too, and I'd like everybody to subscribe over there too and support the brother, you know what I mean, coming over here and giving us his time and his knowledge, you know what I mean? So we don't really ask for a lot over here. As you can see, we don't really ask for donations, even though the PayPal is in the description. But so we like thanks by just either hitting that like button or hitting that subscribe button, man. It's not a lot to ask for, you know what I mean?
10 years bad luck if you don't do it, so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what would you prefer? You don't want to have 10 years bad luck and a lockdown. You see what I'm saying? But go on, Shift.
Man said 10 years bad luck, you know.
Yeah. Real talk, man. Real talk.
What, Shift, you got any music coming out, bro? What's going on with all this music that you had?
Yeah, I was listening to one of your tracks the other day still.
For real? Which one?
I can't remember the name. You was how's the track go again now, man? I can't even remember it now. You know, the track. It was on Mossland. It was on Mossland's channel, and then
What, has he got a video for it?
yeah,
Okay,
and then I went onto your channel and I was listening to some of your music still. I can't remember the name though.
okay. All
Some
right,
music,
say
man.
that. Now, do
Yeah.
you know what? I'll be honest here. I've been kind of stalling on this flipping on the release because I had to wait for some masters to come back. Like, I'll be honest, a few of them have come back. Not all of them have come back as yet, but I think because of this corona, it's just slowed everything down, you know, like that. So I didn't want to put out a rush product, you know, like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that, Shift, man, because you're off the ends now, innit? And you come into London. Like, how's it been for you? Like, how's it been for you, like being off the ends and coming down into London to see your people and things like that?
Do you know what? It's been all right, man.
Have you had any problems, like?
Nah, not really as such, other than like just the roadworks everywhere.
Yeah.
Other
A
than
load of
that,
roadworks.
yeah, all the motorways and stuff. It's all mad. It's all mad.
What
Literally.
do you mean? What do you mean? There's loads of look, what do you mean? There's just loads of road work.
Yeah. So basically, like you can't just if you're coming down the M4 now, they got roadworks on it. If you're going down the flipping M3, I think they've taken them off the M3 though. But I know there's a load of roadworks out there, man. That's just slowing down the place.
What do you think they're doing with these road works? What are they? Big up James Neal. Big up Georgia Lynch. What do you think they're doing with these road works? Like, you saying there's loads. So what is it then? What are they doing?
To be honest, yeah, like it looks like there's loads of new cameras going up when we're on the motorways and all of that. So be careful.
Yeah. Tracking cars, man.
As far as the other road works, I think a lot of it is to do with what God's gift said in his comment. He says the 5G towers and that. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of having to update equipment, update boxes, and you know like that, putting in new things, or you know, with all of the weather we've had, there's going to be like flooding and all sorts of things where they're going to have to do things. So yeah.
So then, so really, it's really going to this technical situation then, like, so it's probably hardly going to be any police on the road then if they're going to that far, like they're just going to track man's car all the way home, right?
Well, basically, what's the necessity for police if we know where everyone is?
That's
Do you
it.
feel what I'm trying to say?
Give
Yeah.
them other things to do.
And if we know where
What are
everyone
they
is,
going to be doing?
no, but hear what I'm saying. If we know where everyone is and what everyone's doing, the only people we got to worry about are the people that's off the grid. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So then, like, they're gonna be singled out now, innit? Like, they just probably hunt them down. So, like for instance, like a normal person, yeah, will have their phone and you know be on Instagram or Facebook or playing a game or XYZ X amount of hours a day. That's what they're expecting. So they can monitor you for that amount of time. If you ain't got your device, you're not like accessible for X amount of hours of the day, they're probably gonna come find you, innit? Like, wagwan for you, what you hiding? Should have like that. Which in a way is probably a good thing, but a bad thing in a sense where it's still invasion of your privacy, isn't it? Like, do you feel where I'm coming from? Because someone could be doing the most heinous crime, but you could be perfectly innocent, but just not want people knowing your business. Do you feel me?
It makes sense.
They're gonna send the drones out on man when man try to run.
Not like that. I should have.
They already got them things flying over our houses at night.
Yeah,
nighttime and daytime.
I've got people send me photos of them all the time, BR.
Sometimes man hear them. You see where man used to live, yeah. I ain't heard them recently, but I used to hear the drones flying over.
Virgin, people can get their own drone out of the shop. It only takes for a man to come up with an idea, one of these terrorists, and next thing the drone's exploding. It's now weaponized. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything.
Well, the reason why they tried to ban the drones, yeah, is because they didn't want the drones to see their drones. That's all.
The difference is our ones don't fly as high as theirs.
Yeah, you're right.
But I know a few. Well, I don't know them personally, but I know. Well, I met a few people that build drones. You know what I mean? Not know them through numbers and stuff, but I can get in contact with them. But they build drones still.
Yeah.
What different level drones?
Yeah, they drums fly proper good. I've stood there with them while they're flying it.
You need to keep in contact with him, boy.
Yeah, and it's easy to get in contact with him. I know his dad, isn't it?
Yeah, he
Just
might be
don't know it.
necessary later on in life, boy.
Of course,
Yeah.
100%.
The man there to be the ones to reprogram them drones, you know. Yeah.
100%.
All of that, fam. Like, you got to think, like I said, this is all accessible now, isn't it? It's like it's play school compared to what they probably got out there. Be none like that. They got the drone that can man the drones. You know, like that. They don't even need a human man in the drone now. They got one drone that's like the bot that's controlling the bots.
Yeah,
It's sending out
they
the
send
bot.
it out
It
like
knows
with a
how
sat
to
nav, innit?
yeah, it knows what it's doing. It knows how to
Yeah.
target things.
Give it the details and it goes, flies off and does this thing. Bam, done. Come back and it's done. 100%. It's
Yes,
sticky. It's sticky out here, man. Man, them soon be beefing each other because these postcode wars are still going on, even though it's coronavirus. Man, them are still
Oh,
dropping
that's
like
never
flies.
gonna stop. That's never gonna
Never.
stop, man. That was organized to be like that.
But that's the thing. When those guys will soon be getting advanced, like the army is. Roadman's gonna step up their game soon.
No, I hear you still. I just
Well, that all
find it.
comes down to poverty. That will all come down to poverty. When people my bad. When people start not getting what they want and not being able to go to shoppings when they want and feed their children, that's when it will go to that level. You see it?
Start
Either that
taking.
or they're gonna fall in line, and I think you're entirely right there. You know, like that, and I think that's why it's scary because I just think like we live in a society of conformism. You know, like that. That's the kind of society we live in. Like, so to that extent, I expect people to fall in line. I don't expect no one to stand up and say nothing, even if it's wrong. They're just gonna fall in line because that's what they do. That's what we're used to seeing. You know, like that.
Yeah.
That's where we're living at. Do you know what I'm trying to say? People don't believe in what's right. They believe in, you know, what their granddad did. So I'm gonna do it the same way.
Yeah, that's why I'm different. I don't like to follow suit and believe in what the next man did, right? I like to see it from my point of view. That's why sometimes people don't agree with me, but if I think it's wrong, I say it's wrong.
But that's how societies build themselves, don't they? They build themselves on the ideals of men who are no longer here, women who are no longer here, and then we pride ourselves on these things, and you know we become them. So I think it's a long shot to say that most people are ever really gonna wake up then, you know, like that, because they're caught up in the whole mix of it. Most people ain't having the conversation, not the way we're having it. And you know, looking outside of the box, even though obviously right now we're peeling back layers, but we're not going too deep. Do you know, like that? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I 100% know everything that's going on in the world and everything I said is 100% fact. I'm just going to say it's an idea, but you know, it's still a likely idea. There's still some likelihood to it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? To some of the ideas, at least. Like that, especially with things that we know they're out there, they're in the world right now. Them big drones are blowing up people's houses. Yeah,
100%.
same way
Man.
you got man in jail flying, getting drones flown into prison and them thing there and stripping us.
Yeah.
I seen
Dropping off
it on the
packs and all
news.
that.
Yeah, doing all sorts of things. So
But that's the thing. It's a matter of time. It's always a matter of time before these things happen. Remember,
and
you put someone in a cage with gears, like they ain't got nothing else in there apart from to do is think. Obviously, they got other things to do, but it's a lot of time is thinking.
Come on, and the thing is, the more people get access to things, the better they get at using them. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, there was a time where man were playing the Call of Duty game, and you couldn't do all of these things where you're running off the wall and them thing there. And then one day it just got more advanced on, man. And all of these kids are jumping off of walls and jumping over buildings, and you know it's all different now, isn't it?
Yep.
And that's where it is. That's where it is. So, like, you got to think with us having all this access now. You know, the next generation, these young kids, like that's what they're born with, that, innit? We had remote control car, they got airplanes and all sorts of things going on. They're ready for something different.
It's like for instance, the first time when I went to Jamaica, like I was born here, innit? My family's obviously there. Like I was born, obviously, you know how it is when you grow up, innit? But first time I went to Jamaica and I saw kids playing with a bike tire, innit? But they was hitting it with a stick. Running down the road, hitting the bike tire with the stick, and it was rolling. And I thought, what the hell are they doing, bro? But that was their way of having fun. You know, you feel me? But in this country, I was used to a remote control car. they had cartons of box juices with strings going through it with little made up wheels on it, pulling it
Yeah.
with string. And I was thinking, what? But then it's two different ways. Some of them probably never saw a remote control car yet.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's when it was us. That's obviously when Jamaica was like pretty much poor, poor, poor. It's stepped up a lot since then. I was a young youth when I first stepped over there, innit? And seeing things like that, like it was embarrassing, you know. You know what I mean? Going to school and then obviously, I was in school, African kids, custard Jamaican kids, and they're saying, man saying, yo, you lot got the will with the stick.
See, but what you're talking about there is the remote control toy car. We're in the age now where I see
Yeah.
that thing on the TV, and the
Mhm.
man had the PlayStation pad controlling the car. What film is
See,
that again? Is that
times
007
have
or
changed.
something? And the
Yeah,
man's controlling the car with the watch and them stripping is there, and got a little
yeah,
gamepad controlling the car and them thing there.
that's it.
So,
By the time our kids have kids, what's their toys gonna be?
well, this is it, man. This is it. I just think
What
that
are they like? My kids have got drones and stuff already to play with outside. Like, what are their kids gonna have as toys? Like, what else can be toys? Like, to say actual robots, because they've got robots too that walk around and they control them and they lift up things and put things down and da 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 da. It's gonna be a mazza, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think we're definitely at that stage where we're not entirely, but we're moving on the cusp of living in a virtual world, or on
Yeah.
the verge of living in a virtual world. I honestly believe that still. I think like you said, a lot of these kids, they don't got that. I look at the park, there ain't no kids in the park. The only kids in the park is because their mum dragged them out to the park. They probably didn't want to be out
Yeah.
in the cold. They would have happily sat there and play computer or whatever game they got at home. And that's the age we're living in, isn't it? The virtual world,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, 100%.
Everything's online.
When I was young, I love being outside, man. Kids have changed. Obviously, time has changed. Things, I don't know, man. Things have evolved or gone wrong. I don't know what it is.
Outside is seen as too dangerous now, man. You know, our eyes are open to too many threats. You know, if it's not, the pedophiles and the rapists and the druggies and the bad people in the world, then it's the flipping like when you look in America now, when they had the thing with the police like giving drugs to the flipping drug dealers and working with them and corruption, or it's someone higher up who's supposed to be trustworthy messing up, basically. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you got the threat of like being run over and all of these dangerous types of technology that are out there in the world being operated by people who ain't you. You don't know what the next person's going to do. They might be drunk, they might be anything. So
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think we're very cautious, and I think the way we've become cautious is taken away some of the elements of our humanity, because although we're human and we're civilized, we're articulate, we're what's the word, we're sophisticated, then there's also an element to us that's kind of like more primal, more volatile, or more what's the word, more ferocious than and that's the part of us that's really fighting for our freedoms, if you think about it, because there's certain things that we won't stand for. Do you feel what I'm trying to say? So we would expect a certain standard of life and expect a certain amount of freedom and expect something, but we're coming out of that way of thinking now into a way of we've lowered our expectations. We just expect what they tell us we should expect. We're no longer the lion, we're no longer the what's the word, we're no longer the predator, like that. There was a time when we was the apex predator. They couldn't tell us what to do. No, we're not doing it. No, we're just not doing it. You have to kill us first. We're living our lives, like that. And then over the years, they found ways of, manipulating us to do things the way that we were expected to do it by the system that's, controlling our lives, behind the scenes.
No, it's true.
Would you
It's
would
the
you
same
say
like what
would you say that's big? Go on, brother.
the same like what you said, Chef, about earlier when we were talking about the schooling. I think that's what it's true what you're saying then, because we might have to in the future just have to stay in the house. Everything's gonna be done from the house.
Yeah.
No one will be able to leave the house at all.
Yep.
We have the dogs outside, robot dogs, robot police, robot everything.
But this is why I
Everyone's
said
gonna be on full lockdown.
this is what I said in previous. This is what I kind of said previously, in a sense of, like, I don't see, you know, with all of this lockdown and stuff that's been imposed, obviously it's seen as a temporary measure, but I don't necessarily see it as a temporary measure in the way that they're imposing it. I think it's a temporary measure in maybe, you know, there might be something a little bit less strict than the lockdown we got now, but I can see a lot of these, you know, things that are being put in place staying. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
A new way of life.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, if we know disease and certain things, and you know, a virus can come out and affect the world a certain way now. You think China, yeah, has had this mask thing from day. They've had it from way before this epidemic of
Way
corona.
back.
Yeah.
So
I used to see them
They
with
got
this mask,
bad.
and I
Their
never
air's
knew what it
bad
was, bro.
anyway.
all right,
They got the
so
worst pollution over there.
all
Yeah.
right, so all of that now, yeah, I'm saying, like, from when they've had the mask from day, it's just suggests to me, it's like, don't get me wrong, I understand about the pollution, but I don't see what that mask is doing about pollution. I ain't doing nothing. So to me, it suggests to me that to some extent they've already been doing lockdowns. They probably trial run these things over there years before. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And seeing how the effect that it's had on the people, and how it's helped the government to manipulate, you know, that situation for themselves. So that's what I think it's about. I think it's about the government saying, okay, well, you know what? It worked in China, it's going to work here. And everyone's going to fall in line. And everyone's going to wear masks. Everyone's going to stay in their cell. Everyone's going to be a single cell now. We don't want people mixing up too much, because all this mixing up just spreads more disease. So we want everyone staying by themselves unless it's essential. You know, like that. And that's how I see the world really operating from now on. I'll be honest, like, because it makes, like, all right, for instance, what's the film back in the day, Demolition Man, yeah? Like, when you think about it, the woman in the film is saying she can't kiss no one because it's transmitting body fluids, and body fluids could be dangerous or harmful.
Yeah,
Do you
I
understand?
That's
what we're talking about right now. We're talking about transmitting bodily fluids. We're talking about, you know, airborne viruses. We're talking about all different types of viruses. So it's not just one neither. It's not even just like, you know, you're gonna get a virus from kissing. You can get a virus just from breathing the same air, just from touching something that person touched. So it's too dangerous then to go back to how we were living before, because that's what was allowing all these viruses to spread. And the only way to stamp the virus out to a point where we might even be able to eradicate the virus, everyone's going to have to stay to themselves. And anyone who's already got it and is dead from it, you're dead, innit? Now, we just don't go back to that house. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's the only way I see it really happening. Like, how are you going to get rid of the virus? You can't get rid of it, innit? Because if I've got it, then if I interact with people, then they've got it. And if everyone's already got corona, then even we're all fucked, then, isn't it? There's just no way of ever getting rid of it, isn't it? Like,
whose rules that gonna be? If someone's dead from it, you can't go back to the house. Their rule, your rule.
Well, I'm just saying that's my interpretation of it, innit? Like, if we're really gonna get rid of a virus here, say like we got a village, and there's 100 people in the village, and 10 people got the virus. All right, everyone has to stay in their own house from now on. No one can't go to no one's house. And those 10 people, if they die from the virus, then, you know, no one goes to their house, innit? If they recover from the virus, then, you know, they might be able to come back and integrate at some point once we realize they're not sick again. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But ultimately, you know, even me saying they could integrate, even if they don't get sick again, they could not get sick and still be carrying the virus and then pass it on to someone else. Now someone else dead. Yeah. So there's no way of getting rid of it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's how I'm looking at this
thinking about the airlines. Then we think airlines should stop this running airlines, dead it all together, or what?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I honestly, in my opinion, I think every country that I can't think of a country that hasn't had a recorded case of coronavirus. If you can think of one, please let me know. But I need to think of one right now because it would help. But obviously, European countries that have had coronavirus in them, I don't think it makes no difference if you go to a country that's had it already. Basically, if you go to a country that hasn't had it, then you might be making a massive difference in it. But the amount of people flying into a country is going to be relatively small in comparison to a population.
I feel like on a TV or something.
Yeah, that shit sounds loud, bro.
That's someone on their phone. But Yeah, I was just saying that.
There's someone on their phone. What are you talking shit? What are you
No, that is someone on their phone, literally. But I'm saying the population. That's someone on their phone, but the population.
Who's on their phone, Shiv?
It doesn't matter. The population of a country is going to be a lot larger than the amount of people coming into a country. You know, like that. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
So you reckon just keep keep the airlines open and let them generate money, or you think it's still highly contagious? Because bringing in some of the foreign stuff, it'll mutate more if it keeps mixing with different countries, isn't it? So if all them airlines are going all over the world like that, that's two different Ronas mixing, isn't it?
I'll be honest with you, yeah. When you're saying two different Ronas mixing, I think like at the end of the day, like SARS is SARS, isn't it? It don't matter if it's SARS 17 or SARS 23. If you got SARS, you're fucked up, innit? Like you fucked up. You know,
I don't know, bro. Does it it's like mixing two different herbs, isn't it? Like
I hear you, but
they get
the way I
stronger,
see
innit?
Nah, this is the way I see it. I don't think it makes any difference if you get COVID-19, COVID-20, COVID-21, 25. I think it's going to be the same impact it's going to have on you personally. I can't see it. Like, I don't understand how it would be much different to what it is. It might like when you say mutated version, all right, maybe you know you might have worse symptoms, but you're gonna have the same recovery tactics. You know, they haven't put out any legislation to say you should act any differently if you have the mutated strain, and other than staying away from people. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I haven't seen nothing. Yeah.
So
the only thing I saw is
Hey, Shift, mute in and out when you're talking, Shift. Mute in and out, bro, because that background noise is mad. But yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right in what you're saying, man. But I think that
one vaccination will work on both, though. The new thing and the old one. It said the vaccination will work on both.
Yeah, that's what they said. So I said, I don't.
Oh, you know, he's going on what they're saying, BR. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Well, that's what's out there, isn't it? That's just what's been put out there for people to, you know, to read up on or whatever by the government.
Yeah, I read it today.
So outside of that, I don't really know if that's true. I've not had the new strain or the old strain, so I don't know.
No, that's what I was asking you, man. What do you think? Because if they got the vaccination for the old thing, then they're saying it's going to work for the new thing that's over here.
Well, I think the vaccination is only a precaution if you, for instance, if we really believe you don't have the virus, then it's worth vaccinating you. But if you've got the virus, then is it even worth vaccinating you? You know, like that, you already got it, mate. You're recovering, isn't it? You're all right. Relax.
Ian got the virus, bro.
No, I'm just saying, anyone who's got the virus, isn't it? If someone out there's got the virus, then
I wonder if Ian had the virus, that's why he got vaccinated.
No, but it wouldn't make sense. If you got the virus, then your body has recovered, it's found the antibodies to fight the virus within it. So you don't need a vaccination. It's for the people that haven't had the virus now. It's going to make more sense because your body hasn't had the virus, so it ain't going to have built up the antibodies to fight it. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Your immune system hasn't even tackled it yet. It's a stiff one still. It's a stiff one,
man.
It's a mad one. It's a mad one.
But what they call it, the variant, this variant.
I have to ask my missus to pronounce that for me earlier. Variant.
They say variant, they call it, innit? Variant.
Yeah.
So it's like an extra boost to the condition.
It sounds potent.
Damn, the video that I want to do, it's really crazy because it's like, I feel so censored. God damn. But yeah, guys, I've done a BitChute. If you look for Peniros Mind on BitChute, all the videos that I can't put up on here, they'll be on there, innit? Make sure you definitely go over there. So I'm gonna go wild over there. I want to see how far I can go on there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make a crazy couple videos. Just going all out and see how far it can go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's it. That's the one that you can put.
Because I really want to talk about this situation properly with this postcode thing, but I can't do it on my channel, guys. So I'm gonna have to go over to BitChute or go to No, I'm not even posting that on my.
Hold on. 1 second. Say that again. What's the thing you're going to?
It's called BitChute, lad.
What? Talk to me.
I don't know, but that's the one that.
Yeah, you can
But
put pretty much
it's
anything you
crazy.
can't put on here. You can put on there.
I'll be honest,
basically.
I'm not a bitch you, but I get that it's a program. I get it as a program. I get it as a program. But yeah, like I think that maybe we should wind it down because I'll be honest, I'm gonna have to jump off shortly because I got work and them
Yeah,
things.
no, definitely. I'm gonna play a track, play a couple tracks, and what we do, people. What's the day? Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
We could do another one on Friday night,
Mm.
and then we do another one on Sunday. I want to at least start doing at least minimum 3 of these a week.
All right. Saying easy.
Just let man know, man.
And if it gets popping, we'll do more. You know what I mean? We'd even do all dayers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I like today's conversation as well. It felt quite like-minded.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, most definitely, man. We got to
nice.
We got to chill down and you know, I know everyone's got different faiths out there, right? People in the comments, yeah, but you have to make sure you build whether it's the Quran, whether it's the Bible, whatever, just build your relationship with your creator now. You know what I mean? Because like I always said before, they got certain technology that man can't, you know what I'm saying? So we obviously need a higher power over us. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So I know a lot of people out there think they're God themselves and them think they're cool. You know what I mean? But Loud TV, Poetry Motion, you've been going on about this TV for like 10 minutes, brother. It's cool. But yeah, big up Poetry Emotion, Simon, Georgia, God's Gift, 100 Eyes, I never see you there. Big up yourself.
Man said the ladies show soon. Fake butts and long hair.
Who said that? Oh, God's Gift said that we need to do the ladies. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is though.
Is that plaits in your hair?
Huh?
Is that plaits? Is that cane roll?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking, what's going on there? I was thinking, no, this afro, something's going on here. I couldn't see the afro properly. Like it had dips.
Yeah, until are you taking a piss, blood?
It's the Rona vibe.
Until I get, I'm doing something to you, you're gonna see anyway. But until that, me have to just wrap it up. You see it?
No, I see it. Obviously, from the way you're sitting here, the way your head's positioned, if you don't look properly, it look like you might have a part in you. Like Tyson, the Mike Tyson party. It look like one. I said,
that's how I'm buff.
I said,
Never.
Hey, Mike Tyson show's crazy, you know. That guy, they be urban it too much, man.
What, the hot boxing?
Yeah. The man that takes some dragon talks, boy.
What do you man think about Mike Tyson?
He's got his own strand, innit? He's got his own weed strand and all that, innit?
What do you man think about Mike Tyson though? Honestly, what do you think about him?
After watching P's thing the other day, yeah. What's it called? The DMT thing. Another thing must have popped up in it with Tyson talking about when he was on it. Man,
yeah, I watched that.
Oh, you watched that? Yeah. I don't know, bro.
Joe Rogan one.
Yeah, he's a bit weird still, man. He was talking some fruity stuff to Little Boozy and all that stuff as well. There's something weird going on with that dude as well, man. So like, I'm making my man choke, bro.
No, but I'm saying obviously
he's doing the Mike Tyson face. Look,
you know what Mike Tyson went to jail for, though, innit?
The arting, innit?
Yeah. What do you think about all of that?
You know what? Off the top of my head right now, I can't remember too much of it, but I know it was some sort of arting. He forced himself, or he hired a girl, or something like that. I can't remember the full story.
Somewhere in a hotel or something, like one of the dancer girls or some cheerleader girl or some shit like that.
What was it? You're underage, or it was definitely an arting. I don't know if you can say that word on there, but you know.
No, I don't think it was an underage thing, but she's trying to say that she. Well, what do you feel about that, bro?
Was it a 2-pack kind of case or what?
Hey, Shiffa, why are you asking them questions and shutting off your mic, bro?
He's Googling it, that's why.
Nah, serious. I'm asking you, man, yeah, because for instance, yeah.
I can't remember. I was young, man.
All right, you know when we was growing up here. Yeah,
No, let me say my piece first. Let me say my piece, Shift, yeah?
He was looked at as an idol anyway. Before
All right,
anything.
listen, yeah? You see what, yeah? I'm not sure if he really done it, innit? Yeah? Because Tupac said he never done it, innit? Yeah, but he still went prison, innit? Yeah, so I'm not sure if he definitely done it. But if he did do it, yeah, that's a madness, yeah? And he went to prison, yeah? And he done his time, right? And now I see him doing more positive stuff than the character that he used to be back then.
Yeah, true.
See what I'm saying? So all right, so with what you're saying, then when do we as people forgive the person? Like when do we say to ourselves, okay, he done that back then. He was a full grown man when he done it. We all know if you watch any of his interviews, he was telling you the amount of different drugs that he used to take, right? Right? So now that doesn't give no excuse though. But now he just smokes weed and he's doing more mentoring, he's doing his podcast, he's doing the weed thing, and you know. So when do we say to ourselves, okay, he done that back then? When do we forgive him? I'm asking you lot in the comments. When do we say to ourselves,
is it forgivable?
Okay, or is it forgivable? You see the thing about me, Shiffa, yeah, when you ask me these questions, yeah, you know how I feel about the industry, bro. You know how I feel about these idols, bro. You know what I'm saying? So really, I'm asking like the people in the comments, like, when do we forgive the person, innit? They changed their life around. It happened over 15 years ago. Do we forgive? Do we move on in our minds? Is it depending on the way the person's moving now? I don't know. What do you reckon?
I don't know exactly
What do you think,
what he did,
Shift?
yeah, what do you think, Shifka? I don't know exactly what he did.
Well, it was the
have to look
art
into
thing.
that.
You said it, innit? It was the art thing.
Oh, the art thing. Nah, I ain't forgiving. No, I got daughters, bro. Burn that.
I think the size of your lips now.
I think
Because
that
I
answer will
completely,
do for the panel.
after watching these shows and I completely forgot all about that kind of stuff. I forgot you even done that. So when you mentioned it still.
You know, you get the two Pringles in your mouth and you do that.
So do you think like to that extent? Because obviously
said, God gives thinks, he says, boy, if he's guilty, you can't forgive it.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. But right, there's people out there that are religious, right?
Yeah.
But
God says
is there
turn the other
anyone
cheek.
out there that's like a Christian or anyone out there that's we got any Muslims in the chat? Like, did he do it? Because if he did it, then it's a stain on man's character. But that stain in that character, no, I don't think certain people care about the stain in the character, bro. Because my man's all over the place and he's got bare different people coming to interview.
That's
You
the thing.
understand?
It's the same as her. I forgot
Unless
about
they're
it.
all in it together, you get me? Huh?
Yeah.
So what? I don't know. His podcast is doing very well. You know what I'm saying? So
Sorry to cut you, but I think when you're a celebrity, people forget about it a lot sooner than if you're average Joe. If you're average Joe, it stays with you a lot longer.
if there's any Muslims there in the chat, most definitely BR. If there's any Muslims in the chat, can you please write down if you would forgive Tyson for what he done back then? And I'm not trying to be smart. I'm just asking.
Michael Shows said God says to forgive.
Right. He was in his prime when that happened. No, that's before he was in his prime when that happened. Or he just lost to Buster Douglas.
Can't actually remember.
I don't know.
I think he just lost to Buster Douglas. Mike Tyson will always be
when it is wife. When it is wife.
Wait, he done it to his wife?
No, she didn't send him down.
Oh, was that where was he beating her up? Talk to us, man. What happened there?
But you see, that's the thing. When man them are famous, yeah, they get caught up into these silly charges, you know, bro. I swear down.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't even know if it's true or facts. If the girls set him up just for money or whatnot.
No,
You have
but
to
he
think, you have
admits
to
to
deep
some
it.
stuff. He admits
Oh,
to
you
some
admit to
stuff.
it? Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that.
No, do you know what? I'll be honest. The reason I asked you is because you said you watched that show, yeah? With
Yeah.
Mike. Was it the hot boxing, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
And you got there's a comedian, black guy, I can't remember his name, but he was on there. And my man was admitting to some stuff and trying to remember his name.
I don't know. I've not kept up with it for a little while since like the Boozy and I've watched a few other people on there, but I ain't like a dedicated watcher. You know what I mean?
What? Hey, God's gift, what the hell? What the heck, bro?
Yeah. That's true. God,
VR, what's he talking about, man?
yeah.
No.
Apparently he meant to beat some dude, boy. I forgot about that part too. He said it to Boozy, innit? Little Boozy. Because Boozy was talking about he don't like lesbians and gays and all that stuff, but Mike Tyson's daughter's a lesbian, innit? So they had some argument backstage, and then when Little Boozy was on Mike Tyson's show, he kept mentioning it to make Boozy feel uncomfortable, and then he was telling Boozy he's done some weird stuff, such and such, and blah blah blah. But then somehow it came out somewhere that Tyson's been doing some stuff to men and all them things there too.
But Bob, I told you earlier about this industry thing, man.
Puff Daddy's been doing them things there for years, but like I said, you see, when you're in the limelight, it's like no one don't care, bruv. Why you think they call him P Diddy, bruv?
You know why people don't care?
Mm.
Because people rate money
Yeah, true.
more than the individual.
True. When you're a celebrity, you can do anything you want.
Bob, you could be Mike Tyson and go broke again. People are still gonna think he's got money, bro. He's Mike
He's been
Tyson.
bankrupt how many times, bro? It's like even Will Smith's son. I wouldn't even want my son. Like, I ain't got nothing against him, but I wouldn't want my son dressing like that. But because he's a celeb, he can get away with it.
No, but the
No,
thing
he's
is,
the thingy. He's the mascot. He's the mascot for that a woman's company.
no,
Who's
but the
that?
thing is, yeah, like Tyson, like I'm not gonna lie, you know, Tyson in his time, you know, he was at the pinnacle of his, you know, his sport, you know, so people like they idolized him in it, they got right behind him in it. Like even when he had these alleged charges at the time, a lot of people didn't believe it. But then, like, considering that, you know, this is this the 90s, late 80s, 90s? I don't know that. Anyway, long story short, you know, I'd imagine that DNA and them things were still running back then, innit? So there must be something in it. And then when I saw him on this show and he was talking to, I can't remember the guy's name, man, the black comedian, he talks proper greasy, the New York geezer, but he's talking to this guy and this other white guy, is it Joe Rogan or someone like that? I don't know who he's talking to, but long story short, like it's almost like he's admitting to some stuff. It's like he's opening up about it, and he's saying that he don't like the person that he was then, innit? He don't like that person. And when a man says something like he don't like the person he was then, is that a suggestion to say that he did it? And then if he did it, you know, like for instance, yeah, I know the man them, innit? I know what the man them's like, innit? Now you can't come around me and tell me you done certain things, innit?
Yeah.
No, but
That's
bro, you
true.
have to watch some of his older interviews. You have to watch some of his interviews and other people's interviews talking about how he was as a character, how he was as a person, and he was a bit raw still.
I hear you, but then, like, for instance, let's say, for instance, one of the man them got caught up in that kind of a situation where he was accused of that, went jail for it, but there was some controversy surrounding it. Like, there's going to be an occasion where you're going to say, all right, this looks real controversial. Maybe he didn't actually do it. We might allow you in it. But
if it's a friend of yours, you might think different if it's a friend. But when it's someone else, you don't really care, bro.
No, I'm in a business. Friend or no friend, I don't business. Listen. Yeah,
Nah, but if someone said that about P, yeah, and you know P, yeah, you'll feel like, nah, that ain't P, man. I ain't hearing that. I need to speak to P myself.
You'd have to check your brethren. You'd have to check your homie, man.
Bro. You gotta check in. You gotta check in.
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
You gotta check in, bro.
Like, being big and serious, yeah. Like where there's smoke, there's fire. there's no way no female on this planet is going to tell me that P done some type of violation like that. Because you see, P's the type of man, if you, unless you like him, he's not on it anyway. You must want it for him to be on it. He's not that type of dude. Do you understand? So to that effect, you know, he probably would have run you before he raped you. That's the truth. I know that, innit? Like, so, you know, if it's someone else now that I don't know like that, then I'm going to be a little bit more suspicious. And then, you know, especially under, like, for instance, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, think how many footballers have been accused of the same thing. Yeah. And how many cases have been thrown away or thrown in the bin because there's so many controversial statements being made where a person's times don't add up, where they were don't add up, what their messages is in their phone and the things they're saying that they were saying and the things that they just weren't adding up. Do you know what I'm saying? I think when you look at something like that, you know, there's going to be times where things don't add up and the person who's in the dock, they're not a footballer. They ain't got a good lawyer. They ain't got all of these things behind them. So they might have just fucked up and just went guilty because they just felt like, oh, do you know what? She's got me, or I don't know. I don't know any other way out of this. So there might be some controversial circumstances, but you see the moment you know, there's some truth to it. Yeah. And now you're in jail. Like, I think, like, for me, like, we need to look past the controversy now. Stop talking this. Oh, did he? Didn't he? Do you know, like that? The man went to jail. He's on TV. It's like he's opening up about it, and that's why I asked you, brothers, like, do you forgive him? Because, like I said, for a man to say, you know what, I don't like for me, if I say that, you know what, I don't like the person I was before, and people were saying, yeah, before he was doing this, he was doing that, tear, and I'm saying, but I'm not that person anymore. Well, I must have changed.
That's the point I'm getting at.
Understand?
Same, I was gonna say.
If I was to,
I can't forgive no man for doing that, but I don't know nothing about this situation, so I can't really speak on it. But the man that's done that,
bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my opinion, him coming out saying that affirms that he did something for this reason. Yeah. You see, if a man had come out and said, you know what, I'm happy with the person I was before, I'm still the same person, you know, and I've made mistakes, but do you know what, that's not something you got to explain a statement like that. You can't just come out and say, like, you know, I've done things in the past that I didn't agree with. You know, he's talking about beating up women and all sorts of things, you know. So obviously he recognizes this behavior in himself, innit? He recognizes something. So, you know, like, I think that, like, I only want to talk about it because when I heard it, it kind of shocked me. Like, I always thought over all of these years, I thought one day Tyson's going to come out and start talking and be like, nah, they framed me. Something happened. And he didn't give nothing. He didn't say nothing. He must have done it.
What did he say something? No, hold on. You're making it sound like he just jumped over this shit. So what did he say about that? Did he say anything about the case? You're making it sound crazy.
About the case, that's the guy's name. The guy's called TK. It's TK, yeah. So you got TK, yeah, talking to him, yeah, and like basically Mike Tyson's opening up in it. He starts talking and he's like,
I was just looking it up still. TK, yeah.
Yeah, he's in some deep. He's going deep.
TK,
the comedian.
Is TK like some light skin looking brother?
No, dark skin. I think it's TK.
Oh, okay, I thought it was that UFC fighter. Trainer.
Yeah. Long story short, like
Mike Tyson, I'll look at it later.
It's like he starts opening up and he's about to go deep, but then TK interrupts him. And I think
the comedian TK.
I think TK's his brethren, you know, because the way he interrupts him is almost like, bro, don't go there, don't do that on there, don't do that. That's a career finisher. Don't admit to shit. You know, like that. And, you know, he's saying specifically his specific words. He's talking about, like, I'm not happy with the person I was then. And when he said that to me, that was like an omission of guilt.
Yeah.
Do you feel where I'm coming from? And it made me look at him.
But there's nothing wrong with that, bro. There's a lot of people I know that ain't happy with the way they lived before. There's a few things I've done in the past that I weren't happy about, but nothing like that.
Not that though. Not that. There's no saving you from that one there, bro.
Nothing even near to that.
You have to stay in Hollywood. After that, you have to stay in Hollywood. You have to stay in Hollywood after that, man. You can't be in the hood mixing up with good people like that, man.
So then you see like that. So when is the time for forgiveness then? What can be forgiven and what can't be forgiven then?
Boy, I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you, yeah. When you say forgiven, I don't think it's necessarily forgiveness that Tyson needs. I think that, you know, he's found some type of salvation in doing his shows and doing something else outside of boxing that's obviously taking him on a new path in it. So, you know, I think that he should just continue on that path. I don't think this is so much about forgiveness because, you know, I couldn't forgive you for something you didn't do to me. You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And I can't expect the person you did it to forgive you. So
Do you think the
that's
people,
the
even
thing it is.
half the people that watch his stuff, even know that he's was accused and charged with this stuff now?
Yeah, of course they know. What do
Yeah.
you mean they know? Of course they know.
Because I forgot about. I tell you the truth, I forgot all about that. I remember it now. You said it, but I can't remember the thing properly off the top of my head. But when
No,
you
but
said it,
that's
I
what you're
forgot all
supposed
about
to-
it.
That's what you're supposed to do. If you notice, yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't even know if Matt Tyson's really even done interviews about it. Do you feel what I'm trying
Oh,
to say?
okay.
I think it made sense to just keep that, you know, keep as
Hush.
quiet about it as possible. Don't say anything. If someone else says something, just talk about something else, like diversion tactics almost. And I
It's
think
like because we've had one of those situations in our current UK music industry. I'm not going to say his name, but we've had the same sort. We've had the same sort of thing. You know what I mean? And then what's going to happen? In, by the end of the year, you know, things might change where he's going to do interviews. People's going to want to mention it. You know, how's he going to deal with that?
I hear you, man. I hear you. Like you can go French, but you know, just don't go Dutch. But ultimately, the thing is now, like,
is his thing going to go to court though, or not? Or is it just left like that?
Well, this is the thing now. Like at the end of the day, like you have to look at it like this. Like whatever the like, there's enough cases of these type of things, yeah, where it won't go to court anyway. Do you know that?
No.
There has to be a victim for there to be a crime. And if a victim's
it's got to be reported, isn't it?
If a victim's not coming forward, then there can't really be a crime in it. So to that effect, all right, cool. Maybe he won't go to court, but I think the implications, you know, they could be detrimental to, you know, his, you know, survival as an artist. I think that much is true. As far as, you know, like the whole Mike Tyson thing, I just think that, like you said, I think when someone's in people's faces for so long, and you know they're seen in maybe a positive light, then you know we tend to, as human beings, we tend to forget the past and just think we're looking at the person now. But you know, how far is the person now from the person who he was?
What if the man had just shook to say something?
Well, that's what I thought. I thought TK, like, he started trying to steer him away, and there's a bit, the brother who's playing the video, like, there's a brother playing the video, like narrating it. He said, nah, TK looked shook now, like, Mike Tyson looks pissed off that he started talking over him, do you know, like that. And I honestly think that as well. I think a lot of people are a bit shook of Mike Tyson. Like, who wouldn't be? The guy, you know, he's got a punch like a flipping mule kick. You know, you want to be cautious. You probably won't want to piss him off. But I think that to an extent, I think being a Mike Tyson, maybe that's why he went down that weird road and became such a weird person, because you're not around real people. You're not around people who tell you about yourself and tell you the reality of what's going on. They're just going to tell you what you want to hear because they're scared or because they just want something that you can give. Do you know like
no
that?
No one in the industry is running their mouth to Tyson. Nowhere.
Do you know like that?
You know what? Saying
that's
that, the only person is right now is Boozy.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say in the sense.
Oh, is he going back and forth with him right now, BR?
Yeah, he's been throwing a few shots at him still.
Boozy's a real person. I understand. When we're talking about these
to pull up
guys, with all these Hollywood guys and whatever, it's different, isn't it? When you're talking about real people who are living a real life, it's not just Hollywood no more. It's gonna turn different. Like,
yeah, big up Boozy, man.
Mike Tyson's only a human being, you know. Don't matter how big your shoulders are.
Yeah, Boozy's my homie, man. That's my dog, bro. Young little Boozy.
That's what I'm saying, man. Don't be shook.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
That's
life, man. Forgiveness is a big thing, and forgiveness is definitely something like that's a very big thing in God's eyes. If you believe in God, you know what I mean?
Right? Oh.
And it's a question, like, because you know why I asked the question, yeah? If we should forgive. Because you see the people them out there that believe in the creator or believe in a God or prophet or whatever.
Yeah.
We all believe that we're going to go through some type of judgment, right? So we want God to forgive us for all the effery we've done, right?
Yeah.
So if we can't forgive man for something, how we expect God to forgive us for everything that we've done?
No, but this is why I say it's down to the
I don't
it's
like
down
the
to the
forgiveness.
person who the crime was done to. That's how I look at it. If
Yeah.
I'm going to interpret it that way, because, for instance, like without me knowing that person or without it being on the news, I'd never know about that crime anyway. So I'd have nothing to forgive him for. Do you feel where I'm coming from? But in that regard, you know, if he's not seeked the forgiveness, if he's not actively seeking the forgiveness of the person he done the crime to and doing his
Michael
best,
chose, of course. Ladder, of course, bro. This type is a big thing.
yeah,
Sorry, bro.
I just think that if he's not actively seeking the forgiveness of the person he done the crime to, and you know, looking for real what's the word? Is it redemption? What is it called when they go into the box and they do confession? What are they looking for again?
Confessions.
Yeah, they confess to get like some kind of redemption in it, or some kind of being, you know, alleviated of their sins in it. It takes their sins away in it.
Yeah,
Like, it's no
release
longer
your
their
sins or
problem
something.
kind of thing. Do you know what I'm gonna say? And I think that for him to put himself in a situation where, you know, that sin is in the past and everyone should not look at it anymore, look past it now. You know, I think it's more to do with the person he done the crime to. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because if that person can forgive you, then why couldn't I forgive you? But if that person can't forgive you and your crime was so heinous, then, you know, it's not on me, is it? It's not on me. I can't forgive you. It's not my
people. There's video Shiffa, yeah, people in America, you know, people have killed their picnic, and they forgive the person and hug them and meet them and things.
Yeah, that's all mad. That's all mad.
I've seen some of that, you know. But the thing is, how much sins can you do before the creators? Yeah, I don't want to say anyone's gods, but before the creators don't forgive you. Because if someone just keeps sinning and sinning and they know that they're going to be forgiven, how many times can you do that before you're written off?
No, that's the problem. That is the problem with Christianity, bro.
Yeah.
The people then believe that if they go to church every week and say sorry, that they can do it then one. But that's because they don't read the Bible properly. It clearly says that you'll be judged for every sin.
Okay.
And that's where the whole Jesus thing gets a bit iffy, because people believe that Jesus died for your sins. But if Jesus died for your sins, then why in the Bible do we have the 10 Commandments? You know what I'm saying? Why in the Bible does it say that you'll be judged for each one of your sins? So that's where the Christianity thing's a bit. That's why people have a bit of, you know.
So if you got a long list of sins, can you ever be forgiven? Pretty much then.
That all depends on your heart. If you're just going out sinning every week, knowing that this is wrong, but I'm just gonna carry on doing this, it might be a bit peak for you, bro.
Yeah, but this is the whole point I was making, and saying it. When you say it depends on your heart, now, yeah. Say like you done a crime, you done something really bad, you hurt a person, yeah. Like you physically hurt a person. All right, let's say when you physically hurt that person, you were starving, hungry, didn't have no food. You went out, you said, the next person I see, I'm robbing them. I don't care. I'm eating today, innit? And you robbed that person. Yeah, and you done it out of hunger, innit? So it weren't like you was trying to be spiteful and just out to hurt someone. You was literally hungry, innit? So, you know, you felt like you had your back to the wall, and you felt like you was the one that was suffering, innit? Now you've injured that person, mashed their life up now, whatever, or they're physically injured, can't work now, whatever now, yeah, bam. So now you find yourself out of that situation, and then you realize the person that you injured is now flipping, you know, some kind of flipping disabled, you know, can't support themselves properly, but you're in a really good position and you've now come way leaps and bounds from where you were. You know, I believe, you know, if you look back on yourself and you say, you know what, that's kind of my fault, and you try to repair the damage, or you try to do something and you show that, you know, you have to really be sorry, innit? You have to show that you're sorry to be sorry, innit? You can't just say sorry. I don't think that's good enough. And I think, you know, if you can get that person to now, you know, adhere to who you are and, you know, the reason why you're there, and be honest as well, you know, then ultimately that person might end up forgiving you. They might say, well, you know what? You mashed up my life because I'm disabled because of you. It's your fault. But the fact that you're here now and you're helping and you're being a friend and you're willing to repair some of the damage that you've done, you know, I think that could lead to a person's forgiveness. And I think that, you know, we shouldn't seek the forgiveness of a group of people. We shouldn't seek Hollywood's forgiveness for the crime we done to some girl who lives in Compton, you know, like that, or wherever she lives.
I think there's too much judging going on, because I feel that regardless of what I feel about Hollywood stars, that's a different thing, innit? But it's like my whole thing is that if we don't forgive certain people for certain things, then what are we expecting at the end of it? You know what I'm trying to say? Like for some of the things that we've done, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know,
I
like
hear you. I hear
it's
you,
it's,
and
it's mad.
I think you're right in one sense, in the sense of, we all have to practice forgiveness, but I think there's levels to this thing in the sense of, there's some crimes that none of us can really forgive like that. There's like, for instance, if you're a parent and someone kills your child, that's a crime that's unforgivable. That's how the majority of people would see it. And then, like you said, you got the video of people in America where someone's killed the person's child and they're on TV hugging them and talking to them. But that's because they've now built a relationship with that person, and through reasoning and understanding, they've come to a reason and an understanding that that person might not have been in their complete capacity at the time, or there might have been something wrong with that person that led them to that. And had they been in a different situation, they wouldn't have really done it. So now
That's a
it's still,
big blessing that they're gonna get for that.
it is. No, it's still a kick in the teeth, but it still
Something different,
lets
yeah.
you know. It still lets you
Bro,
know.
if you can forgive the
know what?
person that killed you, because me personally, bro, I'm not gonna sit here in front, bro. I couldn't forgive no one if they killed my youth. Blood. It must
But
be
what is the
mad
circumstance
blood.
when you say
But
someone killed someone's child? What was the circumstance?
what, just kill the youth, blood? Like, not talking about running them over, like premeditated murder.
Or premeditated murder, like what?
Yeah.
Just like a serial killer, or like what was it? Gang
No,
violence?
no, no. It's just that they killed the youth. Like, maybe it might have been a fight or something like that, and they killed the person.
Okay, so they got into
Robbery.
a fight. So
and
it
all
wasn't
that.
it wasn't a thing of like the babysitter killed the youth or something like that. It wasn't
Yeah, I've
something.
seen that. No, I ain't seen no one forgive no one for that one. But I do watch them court thing. I like watching them court outbursts and them things.
No, because you see, when you say someone killed someone's youth, now, I have to get the context so I can understand
Yeah, no,
why.
guys got shot. Man, them got shot in the head by the next man. All of that.
All right,
You
but you
seen
see,
it when
All
they
of that.
go to the court and that, and when the
Yeah,
person's in
and they
prison,
forgive the person.
yeah,
They've met
and
the
the
person.
family
The
come to the
person's gone back.
prison.
Yeah, visited
Yeah,
them
yeah,
in
yeah,
jail.
yeah.
Visit
I've
them
seen
in
that
all of
too.
that.
And
Yeah,
I thought to myself, that's tough. I couldn't go and see no one in shit.
bro,
Yeah, I
yeah,
bro.
couldn't
but
go
the
and see
thing
no
is
one in
now,
prison.
no, but this is why I think it's important. Yeah, you see, when you bring up a subject like that, we need to know the full context. Because let's just say, for instance, now, your child
No,
is
no,
in a
Shiffa. I'm talking straight murder. Like
That
maybe like a
cold-blooded thing.
might even been a gang shooting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the straight murder. But then what happens? The person, the father of the victim ends up feeling sorry for the parent of that person, and they actually look at it like, some people actually look at it like, rah, we've lost someone, now you're gonna lose someone, and they feel sorry for that person. That's a big heart, bro.
No, I hear you. No, do you know what? I'm totally hearing what you're saying, but that's why I said it's important to have the context. Because, like you said,
Yeah,
if it's like gang violence now, and these two kids or these two sets of kids and
yeah.
rival gangs, they often frequently get into altercations with each other. They might have shot at each other on several days before, or threatened each other with weapons and X, Y, Z days before, but no one's not died yet. Now, obviously, the parents probably know the type of lifestyle their kids are living, in it. So they're probably looking at the situation and saying, all right, you know what? Both of our kids were lost in it. Now, one of them's permanently lost. We don't want both of them permanently lost. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to heal more than they're trying to destroy. And I can kind of understand that still. But I think like when you say someone killed your kid, if someone just random who's never, not even from your town, they just turn up in your town, they just see your kid and they just go over and just knife your kid, just stab your kid, serial killer style. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be forgiving that anytime soon. And I don't think that type of person is even going to be seeking the forgiveness, because I'd imagine they want to kill more. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't imagine there's going to be a point where that person wants to stop, because that was their full intention to start with. Do you feel where I'm coming from? Maybe the kids in the gangs, yeah, all right, to an extent, maybe they talk about killing each other and they talk about violence, but really it's more about dominance. They just want the other one to back down. Do you feel where I'm coming from? So
Yeah, man. Samir D says, for me, forgiveness doesn't mean you have to like a person and be buddies, but living with anger and hatred will destroy you. Yeah, you can just, that's what we do though, innit? Like we usually just avoid the person. You know what I'm trying to say?
You see them, your
God's
heart will
gift.
start beating, man.
Yeah, man. You might want to do something crazy. God's
Yeah, you
gift.
know it.
Hate and forgive. If you still hate them, no way you have forgiven them. Straight. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I agree. I
No,
think that, in all honesty, though, yeah, like I said, I think forgiveness lies with the victim. Because let's say, for instance, let's look at things logistically, you know, not in a natural situation. Then, yeah, let's say, you went to your friend's mum's house, yeah, and you know the back door was open. You walked in through the back door. You saw the car keys on the side. You said, "Fuck it, let me go for a drive. No one will know." You drove out in the car. Your car got mashed up, whatever. You got caught. The mum was like, "All right, you're not gonna allow him." She might even like you that much that she's just gonna say, "I'm just gonna allow you." So now there's no victims. So now there's no crime. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And if you had insurance, you're cool. You might even be insured, and you're cool. You just get the car paid. You're nice, isn't it? But obviously, like I said, depending on the situation, you know, it's depending on how the person's going to be looking at things. Like if you were, say, for instance, now you was known as a thief, yeah, and you've come up in the house and did that, and then everyone knows you as a thief, you're some no good kid. She probably gonna rat on you. She gonna be like, "Fuck
no,
it,
it's
take him
true.
jail, take him jail." I mean, I want to
I've
see
been
that
in
one.
that situation. I've been in that situation before. Still, I didn't steal the keys, but I crashed into my boy's mum's car though.
Yeah, and that's why I think forgiveness lies with the
Rear
person
off.
crime to. I think like a lot of people don't realize this year. Like when you like you see when I don't be honest, I'm not into the Bible the way like Peniros into his Bible. He really reads this Bible. But when I
I
have
used
read
to.
it,
I was locked
like
up.
when I've got serious with it and I've sat down and I've looked at it and I've taken the words in, the way the things it suggested to me was that it's not about, you know, you praying for forgiveness. It's not about you going and sitting in that box with that man and saying he says you're forgiven. It's about the person you done the crime to. It's about your way of it's about your way, your diplomacy skills. It's about how good you can interact with people, because you could do a crime, you could do bad things to a person and they might even forgive you. If that person really thinks you have changed and you show them a different side to you, they might even like you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I think, you know, as people, we have to be prepared to give ourselves the chance to make up for the wrongs that we've done. So, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I might have been in a job one time and I might have said that I was sick one or too many times, or just kept making excuses like why I'm not at work when I'm supposed to be. Do you know, like that? And then got caught out and then was like, do you know what? Forget arguing about this. Just tell the man the truth. Look, this is what happened. This is what I was doing. Yeah, I was taking a piss. I'm sorry, innit? Do you know, like that? Because people appreciate a bit of honesty. Now we can have a proper conversation again. Before you know it, we can have a bit of banter and laugh again. Before you know it, look, mate, it's been X amount of time now. I know I fucked up before, but come on, you can give me another go. You know I'm good for it now. We've spoken about this. Do you feel where I'm coming from? And I think that, you know, if we as people were more like that with each other, then, you know, we wouldn't be so worried about forgiveness. Because, you know, a person who's really changed can really give themselves an opportunity. That's how I look at it. A person
Yeah,
who
but
ain't
these bloody you see the whole contradiction of it though, Shiffa. You see how he's talking about Tyson. It's funny how them celebrities, like we was talking about earlier on in the show, the idolatry, they get looked over like it's nothing. But a man next to you, in the block next to you or your neighbor, he ain't getting looked over. You see what I'm saying?
That's why I thought it was a good point to discuss, because, like we said, you know, someone like Mike Tyson, he's gonna fly under the radar. Everyone's there watching his Mike Tyson. I ain't sitting there watching a blasted Mike Tyson. You think I want to sit there and watch that man there after what they're dealing with? But obviously, if you're telling me he's changed now, if you're telling me that, all right, cool, I appreciate that he's changed now. But what
No,
is
but
he?
it's good. It's good that you bring it to man's attention, because man didn't even remember that. You know.
But what has he done as far as the victim is concerned? What has he done to make that situation between him and the victim better? Because if does he really want forgiveness? You know, what is
I
he
ain't got
working
a clue.
towards?
I have
But
no
maybe
Like,
the
clue.
victim's under the radar. Maybe the victim don't want to come out though.
or does he just
He's
want
paid
money?
them. Paid them. He's paid them.
Forgiveness. Do
He
you know?
paid them off. Probably back in the 90s or early thousands, whenever it happened. He probably paid them then.
Paid him
Paid
for what, bro? He went in prison, bro.
He went in jail. That's what I'm saying. He went in jail. He didn't pay
You
Yeah,
the
but
don't
you
money.
know
pay
when he
man when you
came
go
out.
jail, bro.
No, but he
No,
probably paid them just to done it. No interviews. You know all that kind of rare.
man, nah,
Well,
bro.
I know what BR's saying, because BR's got them man have got the money to do them thing there. Still, you get me?
Even when Mike Tyson's going into when he's talking to the 15 ring presenter and he's saying that 15 Lennox Lewis ain't no Sonny listed and all of this and I'll eat his kids. And the
Yeah, he
guy's
was
trying
chatting
to
a madness. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
chatting
they
a
know,
madness.
the guy's trying to ask him about his charges. He just starts talking on madness. There's a few presenters who tried to ask him about his charges, and every time they ask him about it, he just starts going mad. Assalamu alaikum, minus. He just
Yeah, I've
starts.
seen it. I've seen the interviews. I've seen the interviews when he starts just cussing, man, on the interviews, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just starts saying madness, bro. Like
But you know
can't-
what? Big up to them guys though, still for bringing
Yeah.
it up.
No, it's true. Even Takashi 69 had a case like that, and he still blew up before he turned
Bro,
snitch.
bro, he had a case like that, and he went round 100 bloods after that.
Thank you. I was just about to say that, and it was with was it a 14-year-old in the video, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not signing off on
Oh,
that. I'm not signing off on that. Like you said, the bloods, innit? Like, don't let the vampires in, keep them outside. We don't roll with vampires.
yeah. So we always remember, there's always a rotten apple, man.
Is it? We need that in-
Acorn as well. Acorn, but his one was a bit different. Cause she was in a club that was over 21 or something like that.
Huh? What Akon?
Yeah, but he didn't
Acorn.
do nothing with her though. He
You're
was just grinding on the girl, but she was in a club that was over 21 and she was like 15, innit?
Yeah, but
Oh, it
that's
was
not
dark. Well, it was dark in there, yeah.
No, and he was dancing with her and
But that's
whatever.
no excuse,
That's
blood.
not
That's
a
no
charge.
excuse, blood.
That's not
No
a charge.
excuse.
No, being
No,
fair.
because
Being fair.
she
that's not a
pressed the
charge.
charge in it. But what happened is obviously the bouncers then let her in without IDing her or whatever.
Yeah, so it's the
So-
bouncer's fault. It's not a charge. And the
Yeah,
day,
so how did she get
you're
into
in
the
a
club,
club.
innit?
now hear what I'm saying. If you're in a club in America, yeah, the age for club in America is 21 in most states. So
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
as far
Yeah.
as they're
What he
concerned, you're
said.
21, innit? If you're trying to say you're not even 18, you're 21, so you're way above. If you're trying to say so. As far as he was concerned, he hasn't done anything wrong. She's in the club. You're not allowed in if you're not.
What you trying to say? Security's fault, fam.
Yeah, it's
Pretty much, yeah.
So if he grinds up on a 15-year-old, it's security's fault, fam.
That's
No,
what
but
he said, pretty much.
He never done that. You know,
But
It
you know
sounds
what,
bad,
fam?
but that's what
Hey,
he's
you
saying.
see all you man out there, yeah, that are in the club and they're grinding up, look in the girl's face first, man. You man are crazy.
no, but you can't say though. No, but you can't really say that because some people just look young
What?
for their age. Some people just look young for their age. Like there's some women who look really young. You look at them. Like I'll be honest, there was a girl who I used to know when I was growing up, and she looked really young for ages. When she was 30, people would think she was like 15. They think she's like, you know, like look still baby. You're still in college. They talk to her like she's a little girl, and she'll get pissed off about it. So it can happen. So I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just saying that because she's in the club, you know, technically she is deceiving people. She's trying to say that's deception because you're not.
Hey, God's gift is mentioned in the game. Remember, the game had that little situation with the young girl, innit?
I don't know about the game. That one.
Which one?
The game.
Bro, the game was messing with some young girl, and then the situation just went quiet. It was in a different country. Where was it again? God's gift.
Young Buck was with a man, though, you know? Remember?
Yeah, we know. Let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone.
I don't. You know what I mean?
Hold on. But how old is this girl with the game? How old is she though?
Probably young as well, bro.
Hey,
Remember
how do you feel about the
America,
young buck situation? How do you feel about the young buck situation now?
Oh,
They
come on.
age fast. They age fast in America, bro. I'm telling you.
Huh?
Them people.
I don't want to talk about no type of bucking, man. No buckeries.
No, but man got caught though. He got caught on camera in the jacket, innit?
I hear you still. I hear you, but like, I don't want to talk about him, man. I don't know, man. Young buckaroo and the man there. He's a real.
Bro, them man were going on like they were hard on G Unit, bro. Them man were on about this life.
He is about that life,
about
man.
the other life,
bro. Listen, when you man say this, yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah. Any man that talks like Young Buck, yeah, and then you know is linked up with trannies, and you know, yeah, he likes to have sex with men. I'm scared. I ain't fucking with that dude. If you think he's something to play with, then good for you. But I ain't playing with dudes like that. I ain't like, listen, I'm scared. I'm gonna have to make sure I'm fully protected. I'm gonna make sure I'm fully ready for guys like that. You get me?
What does that mean?
Pause. You gotta say pause after that, because that sounds great. Pause.
I'm fully
I'm fully protected
and ready.
And you're ready for them, man, cause pause.
Yeah. Ready for them to defend myself. Ready to defend myself from. No pause. Yeah. That man are military, rolling around with military army clothing, looking at man. You need to be careful.
Listen, yeah, you gotta be careful out there, man. I'm telling you, you
Cause
got the
when you
young,
see the
you got
man there
young
dressed
fog
up
and
like
all of that.
military, bro, looking for man, cuz.
Bro, I see Young Buck
You
in a
better come back to
video.
London and live in London if you're seeing shit like that.
Bro, I see Young Buck in a video dressed up in military uniform. And what is he out there looking for?
Man.
I see
but
Little
then
Wayne
that's
do the same thing. Little Wayne did the same thing, dressed up in the soldier military uniform.
no,
It's
but then
like,
that's the same as them other rappers though. You know the new generation rappers, they're dressing like girls, they, like a trend, bruv. Like it's a new trend.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, they're wearing dresses, handbags, and you know, bubbles in there. You know, like the little thingy things and whatever you call them things.
Different colour
I,
loops in their hair and all that.
yeah, bubbles and them things I used to wear in primary school and all them things there. So I don't even know, bruv. It's like what you're saying, the idolizing and fashion.
No, you
They're
know what
taking
it
it a bit
is?
too
You know what
far.
it is, yeah?
Mm.
Bruv, the girls can't have nothing to themselves no more, man. Liberties,
Nah,
bro.
it's true.
They can't have nothing to themselves, blood.
Yeah.
You already
Man
took the
them stole
skinny
leggings
jeans.
already. The man them stole the leggings already.
Man already stole the leggings and the skinny jeans, yeah?
Yeah.
But not, and he stole the handbags. He stole the
Yep.
handbags, the man bags and all that.
Pouch. All
But
that.
what else you gonna take from them, man? Jesus.
No, it's true. It's the
It's
fashion thing.
crazy.
It's new era. New era, fam.
I don't think it's just fashion, man. I think what it is, yeah, I think that human beings, you know, like, all right, let me put this in perspective. So human beings are like they're like
Magnets.
penguins. They're like penguins. We're like animals, isn't it? Like to an extent. We're like the creatures we see in the wild. And these
Why
creatures,
penguins though?
well, I'm just saying any creature. I just thought penguins because it sounded funny, but you know, we're like we're like animals. But we are like penguins because remember, penguins, yeah, they usually mate with one partner most of their life, but penguins can be promiscuous. This is fact.
Penguins are gangster, you know. You know how long they leave their youths for when they go fishing from?
Yeah, yeah, but remember they will
Like
take
Man
2
them,
months and
man them,
remember they will
man
take
big
them.
up mystery.
Yo, man them.
Yeah.
Mystery just jumped on to defend the gay community. What's popping, Mystery?
Yo.
no comment.
No, I'm playing.
Pause.
Well, yeah, pause. What's going on, my brother?
Another day, another 50 pence.
I hear you, man.
How
I
you
hear
guys
you.
doing, man?
Yeah, man, we're blessed.
Wicked.
Bless.
So, Mystery, what do you think about this? Like, because I'm saying, like, I think that animals, yeah, in the wild, yeah, they can be experimental, like dogs, you know, penguins, X, Y, Z, you know, and you know, one penguin might try and hump another penguin that's from the same, you know, gender group, you know, like dogs do it, other animals do it, and I think that human beings, we're just experimental creatures, in it. Now, to some extent,
Yeah.
I'm
We're
not
not
gonna.
like seahorses, those. The men seahorse give birth, innit?
You know, like that. But I'm just saying, obviously, yeah, that to an extent, yeah, we've got similarity with other mammals in it, like in our behaviors, in our mannerisms, the way we deal with social circles, X, Y, Z. Maybe not as far as speaking, because other animals don't speak, but yeah, we do have some similarities, and I think to that extent, you know, people are going to try things, they're going to do things, and you know, ultimately, you know, people are going to learn things as well, innit? So. Like we're living in an age now where people, you know, we're in the age of confusion. You know, people see something, it looks good, they want to be like what they saw, or they want to try something new. Do you know, like that?
Yeah.
Like someone like Young Buck, you know, maybe he was a guy, you know, a lot of life came to him really fast and he tried everything else out and he went to try something new. And I don't know.
You know, I've actually said that about Young Buck and them kind of guys. They tried everything too fast and then got bored of it and started trying new stuff.
Do you remember when? Do you remember when them Premier League footballers, but they didn't identify who they were, but those Premier League footballers were in the newspapers for keeping up their madness.
Well, there's obviously like what's his name, Dion Dublin. He's gay. He's a footballer, buddy.
Well, these guys have got girlfriends and everything. The point is, their reason for what they did, I can't even say what they did. It was absolutely disgusting.
What are you
The
talking about?
reason?
You talking about that guy that got the 3 years?
No. This was like, okay, do you remember Master Steps?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was part of what went down.
Yeah.
What went
Yeah.
down? What went down? Talk to us, man.
Basically
Allegedly.
they were doing a madness, and the reason, the point what I'm saying is that their excuse for it was that they've got loads of money, they could get any girls they wanted, and they were just experimenting.
Now, what was the madness? Talk to us. What's the madness? Specify.
So some sexual acts
With who?
with each other.
Oh, like that. So Master Steps and who?
All that P Diddy stuff, man.
Allegedly, it was Master Steps. I think a couple Arsenal man. Was it Ashley? I can't remember. Can't you remember? I don't even remember.
Hey, listen, I told you about these football guys, man. I told you like earlier on, man. Yeah, these football guys are in the closet.
Look,
Guys, can no one remember?
bro, listen. All
I don't
say,
remember no story like that. That story sounds like a nightmare, cuz.
yeah,
I don't even know. I don't know where you saw that story, cuz, but I ain't seen that story, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
that was front page. They did silhouettes of them. It made front page what they were keeping up.
Look,
What,
I'm not
today?
involved in the football world like that. Yeah,
No, this was about 10 years ago.
Ashley Cole don't even play no more, I don't think. But I'm saying, like, obviously, when this was all going down, I obviously weren't paying attention. But I'll say this much: when I look at football, I've always seen football as having a fruity side to it. From when you got a team called Man United, United over there, you have to be careful with it. You have to be careful out here, Richard. Yeah, from when these men are jumping on each other's back and them thing there.
You think the same thing about? Hey, Shiffa, you think the same thing about UFC, though, innit?
Richard, I see man taking donkey ride on man's back after scoring a goal and them thing there, and that's the way he went.
Listen, in basketball, they slap each other's asses. Yeah, in basketball, they slap each other's asses. In MMA, you got men lying on top of each other.
Yeah.
Hey,
man's
so
got a seed bag right in the man's throat and them thing there. It's not right.
What if the man are on something when they're on the pitch, blood, allegedly? What if they're on something and that's why they're getting a bit fruity, slapping man's bum off?
But they was doing an absolute. If we weren't going live, I tell you what, the rumor was what they were doing. It was absolute madness.
No, I don't need the details, cuz all I need to know is there's a couple man there and that's it. I don't need no details.
I've seen.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go.
I don't need to know the insides of what they were doing. That
bro. Not
but I tell you what, though, you need to realize the levels that these people are playing at, and these people have got wives and children.
Because I don't want to know the levels of
mystery. That's
what they get up to.
Mystery. You see, from when you can have a grown man jump on your back, yeah, you're in a pair of shorts, yeah, like that, yeah. His seed bag is rubbing on your back when he's on your back.
Allow it, man.
You have to be careful with them things there. Like,
what I'm saying.
Jump on my back.
Listen, the origins of so the word gymnastic or gymnasium, one of the two, comes from the Latin word, I think it is, of naked. It means naked. The reason why it was naked is because back in them days they used to have boys doing gymnastics and so forth naked.
Yeah, remember in primary school it was vests and pants.
What?
All right, so way back in them times it was the fruity man then getting the kids to entertain them while they were naked. So that's where gymnastics or gymnasium come from, and it's obviously linked all to this day.
Come on, man.
Certain people. So when you see man wrestling and them thing there, people the same way people get off watching, I don't know, women volleyball is the same way these guys will get off watching two-man wrestling.
Yeah, Bertrand, this is why I think certain things went undetected for so many years, like on certain levels. Like, because I remember them pedophiles, they just get a job in a school, they're just watching your pitney run around in vests and pants, you know.
Listen,
and them
I watched the documentary.
Man.
You know,
there's a documentary on Netflix about this this guy. He was like the physio for the American gymnastics female gymnastics group. This guy was abusing these kids on some next level. And the thing about it is they were so young, and this is what kind of opened up my eyes, is these girls are so immature or so innocent that they believed that it was just part of the what do you call it, the session. And because it was for the American team, it's so powerful and important, it just happened, and this was going on for years. Some parents knew about it, some didn't. It was deep, very, very deep. So there are a lot of these funny people that are in these industries, are in education, social services, anywhere they can get to vulnerable children, they're there.
Yeah, they'll get there
So
by any means necessary.
right. So when I'm saying man needs to know how these people move, we don't need to know, but it's the way I see it is knowledge is power, and I'm strong enough to not be influenced by what I see or what I hear. So what and I'm not too homophobic where I can't sit down and speak to it, because everyone is we're just people at the end of the day, and I'm strong-minded enough to not get influenced, or I'm not that rich where I want to start experimenting.
You understand?
But it's to me it's obviously it's got to be in them somewhere in the first place. So regardless of anything else,
Money, regardless of money or none of that.
Yes, yeah.
I just want to put that out there. Like, we're saying like, because of the money. But me personally, I would never ever go to them levels because of money. You know what I'm saying?
Way.
But everyone's different, though, and everyone's got different. You know what I'm saying? Everyone, like we were saying earlier on, there's people out there that do things for money. You're thinking that he got that because he worked hard for it, but little do you know he was touching his toes to get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everyone's got their different levels of this thing, man.
And
we have to start really understanding and being a bit more fairer as well to people, because not everybody is the same. Not everybody's got the same heart. Not everybody's as strong as each other. You get me? Some man, when they walk down the road late at night, they might shiver. Next man, they won't. You feel me? It's just, but we have to respect it though, because everybody's different and everyone walks every different type of life.
Yeah, definitely. It's my issue with any of this stuff is when you're pushing up your things on other people. So if respect my opinion, respect my which direction I swing, and we keep it like that. I don't think I don't think it needs to be pushed out there. I don't think like of cool gay people exist, lesbian people, trans, bi, whatever letter of the alphabet they want to use, they exist. But I don't see why it needs to be. I don't understand why it needs to be like promoted in the way it is nowadays. I don't even like to see a man and a woman kissing. Why do I need to see two women kissing?
I know what you're saying. But
they even
you know what? You know you can say though. You know you can say about that though. Yeah. Right. It ain't. It's promoted. Yeah. But sex. What about sex in itself, bro? Sex in itself is promoted.
Yes.
Every song, it's on posters, it's everywhere, man.
I said that I can't think of one song in history that doesn't relate to sex, violence, or sex, violence, or drugs. Right. Every song. It's about love. It's about drugs, or it's about violence. Why is that? And the people that don't make them kind of songs, they don't make it in the game, or they die. They die horrible deaths.
Yeah.
I don't think how many coincidences do we need for something to then become a fact? Are we going to keep saying coincidence? That's like a gambler. Oh, it's a coincidence I lost. Oh, it's a coincidence. How many losers do you need to make before you realize you're not a good gambler? It's a fact,
Yeah.
So when people just come out, coincidence, this coincidence, that, nah, man.
Yeah.
That don't make it.
It happened with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
How many times can it be a coincidence?
This is another thing. I weren't there. I really don't know. And I won't say he did. I won't say he didn't. I won't say.
I don't know if he did or didn't either.
Yeah, that's it. I can't defend man because he could have.
He could have. Same as Tyson. I don't know if you was listening earlier.
Oh no.
I was talking about.
Listen, guys, we're gonna have to close off the show now. Anyway, thanks BR for coming out. Mystery, thanks for jumping on at the last minute. Shiffa Don, big up yourself, Shiffa, for jumping on as well, and big up everybody in the comments here. Everyone that's commented. Now, guys, look, we're gonna, like I said earlier on, we're gonna try and run some more shows. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be doing it definitely 3 times a week from now on, and maybe more after that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so blessings to everybody that's coming in. It's gonna play a track, because we have to remember that yeah, I mean, we're going to our beds tonight, and we need to be watched over. You understand? So I'm gonna play this track to you, man. Big up BR Reality, big up Mystery, man. Big up Shiffa Don for jumping on, man. Big up God's
Respect
Gift.
everyone, man.
God's Gift couldn't jump on today because he's got some inflammation going on. You get me? No corona bullshit. But
No,
there's some
respect.
inflammation going on. Big up
man.
Western Goddess for holding it down. Everybody else in the chat, yeah.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully the inflammation goes down, bro, man. I know what that's like.
Yeah, man. But yeah,
Cool.
big
So
up everybody, man. I'm just gonna play this tune to finish up.